Welcome everybody to today's stream. Hope you had a nice day so far, a nice weekend. And yeah, let's have some fun together, hopefully. Welcome Beardek, welcome. Let me quickly set up everything and then we are good to go. So there we are. Let's do some daily PvP match and get the dailies done and have some fun after that in PvE as well. As usual, if you have any comments, any questions, I'm always open for that. Just ask, just let me know. And let's talk about the game and, I don't know, general life, I guess. the usual. And if you're wondering about the stream title on Twitch specifically, yeah, I'm a bit scared, as you can see, of my sub goals, you know. Community came up with like horrible sub goals for me, so I will be pretty scared if we ever reach them. So especially like I have to go in quick play. That's the next sub goal already, so pretty likely to happen at some point. And I have to go into quick play, raid quick play specifically. And I'm not allowed to do any like specific roles. I have to play DPS. So that will be already like a big downside, because playing DPS is like not as impactful as you could play like full heal or something like that, where you can actually take care of the mechanics, fix the mistakes of new players. I'm not allowed to use anybody from the community. So I have to go in alone. I really have to click quick play button and that's it. I have to go in, accept what I get, and I have to really like do that continuously. Like the whole stream will be that. That will be pretty painful. Let me tell you that. Welcome Shadens, welcome. So that will be a pretty fun stream for you to watch probably, and a pretty painful stream for me to to actually play, I guess, because I think the quick play when it came out, the raid quick play, was pretty like veterans engaged with it, new players engaged with it. You know, we get some rewards for it. Let me show you. You get some rewards for doing raid quick play. You get is it under, yeah, weekly quick play. You get some weekly chests and you get 6 in total, 6 legendary insights. So it's actually not bad. But the problem is veterans quickly noticed that you obviously queue up with a lot of new players as well. So that led to pretty much the veterans doing quick play in their own squad and not joining up with random peoples that never actually played the raid encounter. So you have now the situation where you queue up as a veteran and you get a lot of new players, which is completely fine. Problem is you get sometimes very long quick play encounters. Sometimes you get encounters where just a single player, like an old line squad, can completely wipe the whole party and you have to restart. And on top of all that, you get sometimes players that just instantly leave the quick play if it's not a fast boss. So doing all the quick play for the weekly, especially if you do it with like high DPS mindset and I'm only playing alone, it can be painful. It can be very painful. But this is the sub goal, pretty fun to watch. So if you want to see me do that, you know what to do. Yeah, welcome Winslow, welcome. How you doing? Yeah, it has been a while, true. I was really busy in real life. I don't know if you had time to watch my streams if I would have been streaming, but now I'm back streaming, more active and hopefully also more passionate about everything. So hopefully that's good. So let's see what we do here. One daily PvP match and then after that hopefully enjoying some interesting things in PvE. Let's quickly change the settings. In PvP, I always want to see as many attacks as possible, so I deactivate effect LOD or uncheck it, let's say it like that, and set the character model at least to medium, maybe even higher, but medium is good enough. And because I want to see every single attack, that's the important part. I don't want to have a situation where Harbinger casted Shroud 5 on me and I don't see it. So Really important. Good GF, been getting back into the game after break since October myself. Nice. Hopefully enjoying it. I think the game is a little bit in a like a pause state, but I think with the next upcoming patch being like pretty much a month away, we hopefully get some exciting things. Not only the balance patch coming up next or in 1.5 weeks, and then after that the Legendary from World vs. World, we get like new map, new story, new relics. I think there is like, there was a bit of a downtime in March, but now like in April, balance patch, May, new update, hopefully some news about the roadmap, what's going on with the next updates. Hopefully we'll get that at some point. I'm waiting for that, to be honest, since like March, but who knows. So I think it's a good time to come back. I think it's, if you don't enjoy the game, you take a break, you come back, and there's always some new fun stuff. Content benchmarks made me get the expansion. They got you. Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest. The benchmarks for the Visions of Eternity specs were really high after the expansion, and they nerfed it not as fast as I hoped they would. Now they are finally getting around doing so. But if you're a content enjoyer, or at least you enjoyed the benchmarks, don't worry. They actually, the content benchmarks are still extremely high, like really high after the nerf. Like, how many people are here? Like at least 3 people. So let's juke them a bit. We got a kill. I mean, we take that. I mean, I guess they get the... Oh my god, did they get the banner stomp as well? No, okay. That would have been painful. Let's cast the elite skill here. I think we have a good target here. Was a pretty nasty invuln by this guy, but we got the kill anyway. Okay, very good. I guess we stay here on point. That was a interesting opener, I have to say. My whole team came far. Like, what? I wanted to get a 1-on-1 at far, but apparently my team wanted to have a team fight at far. I mean, it worked out in the end, so interesting. I mean, this is a kill. Nice, there we go. Don't let rangers bleed. I hear people saying they're gonna announce their next project once VOE ends, since we haven't heard anything about the next expansion. I don't want to speculate too much, because obviously I don't have any more information than anybody else here. But I think like the radio silence that we have in terms of like nothing is like said about anything about after August, pretty much. Like when Visions of Eternity is, so to say, over, nothing is said about that. It's pretty sus, you know. Normally they announce expansions at least a year beforehand. Typically, like some of them, for example, Visions of Eternity was already announced before Chanter Wilds came out. So this is pretty interesting and pretty new for ArenaNet for sure. So I was hoping for some update, like for something to know, okay, this game is like getting another expansion. This is what's going on behind the scenes. I was hoping for something. I'm not saying Guild Wars 2 will die in the next 10 years. Don't get me wrong. I think it will live for very long and people can play it for that long. But it looks like they are pretty much like not putting out as much content as they did before. I mean, this is a pretty stompy match. I mean, what can I say? That's how it goes sometimes. Welcome, Saint. Welcome, Saint. How are you doing? How is everyone like doing on this beautiful Saturday? Hopefully. No, I hate condition mirages. That's one of the hard counters to this build, or to Elementalist in general, because the confusion can kill you so easily. Like, I have a lot of Condi cleanses, but if I cleanse the wrong conditions, I will die very fast from the confusion, because Elementalists use so many spells. I mean, this should be a kill here now. Okay, they teleported out. Ooh. You see, I get engaged on, and the confusion is killing me. Hey Syrma, I love your YouTube videos and guides. Help me a lot. Thank you. Glad to hear that. More coming, and hopefully also more help for you if you need more. But I'm so happy to hear that, because this is all, like, my biggest goal for my content creation is always to help new players, or players in general, to enjoy the game more, to get into the game and stuff like that. And because it deserves more attention, more players, just more fun in the game as well from players. So I hope that more people like feel like that. Okay, I mean they got a kill at close at far. Right, mid rather. So I'm not sure if I should push there or if I should defend this one here. I guess we try to push in the team fight because they are losing it. This guy needs help. Okay. But yeah, if you have any questions, any comments, just let me know. Always happy to answer. I will read them and hopefully answer them very soon. I cannot promise that I will instantly read it because after all, I'm playing PvP match. That's a bit more intense than playing PvE rather. But I mean, this is, oh my god, I had all the conditions just now. That was crazy. Oh my god. Okay, there were 5 people there. That was a bit too much, to be honest, to stand on node. It's fine, it's fine. We have 250 points ahead. That's good enough for me. Good enough for me. Can I ask you what's the best way to farm the loosened modes? I need thousands just to make the legendary relic. The sad truth about loosened modes is that you cannot really farm them. You know, you get pretty much exclusively the loosened modes from unidentified gear salvaging. And you can purchase a couple of them per Wizard's Vault season refresh, sure. But in general, I would say like you want to just salvage any unidentified gear that you get. That is the best way of getting that. It's sadly not like a real farm. It's just like a gold spent on the whole thing. I mean, this is not a real 101 I want to be in, but it's okay if they give me the node. Okay. But yeah, I would say like every unidentified gear piece that you get, you open it and salvage it, and then you get loosened modes. Or you farm gold and buy it from the trading post. There is sadly no better way to get loosened modes because it's not something that you can farm effectively. You can farm open world matters and stuff for unidentified gear, but in the end it's just gold farms that you do. Yeah, nothing else. So sadly, I cannot give you better tips than just farm the gold or farm unidentified gear and salvage it. That's typically the only way to get it. Yeah, the Runecrafter Salvage-O-Matic is one of the best things to have there. If you use that one, you get more loosened modes out of that, at least from green gear. It's really good, yeah. But there is sadly, like, I really wish I could tell you something that helps you get it faster, because it's really annoying to get thousands of them if you're a player that wants to get the legendary relic and stuff, or something that needs the loosened modes. But that's just it. You have no chance of anything to improve it. Oh, the confusion. Oh my god. Okay, I got the elite. That's good. God, this confusion is like killing me. It's crazy. I cannot contest the node against this. It's like, of course I play against the only condition Mirage in the whole leaderboard. Like, what? It's fine. We should win this. It's just not a nice matchup for me. Is it better to salvage the Actos as well? So Actos salvaging is like not giving you loosened modes. So I would say Actos, I would not salvage if you don't need the luck that you get from salvaging Actos. And either way, if you salvage Actos, you should always do it with the Silver Fat. You should never salvage Actos with anything else than the Silver Fat. So I would keep the Actos, because typically you need Actos for legendaries, for all that stuff as well. And salvaging them is only providing you with luck. That's the most common thing that you need salvaging Actos for, but that's pretty much it. So I would say salvage gear, and the Actos that you get out of it, you typically want to keep. That's at least that's what I would recommend to players that have a typical... Oh. We have a bit of an issue here. Disengage this. I don't want to fight a Gale Shot and a Luminary. Okay. And I will just get the decap again, hopefully. Oh my god. That was crazy. I could not kite this guy because they actually CC locked me with, like, I think this was a pet. That's pretty sad, pretty sad. Normally I win those one-on-ones. Actually, we did not get any points in the last, like, couple of minutes. That's crazy. Can you suggest a tanky build with a lot of mobility for SPVP? I mean, that's what I'm playing right now, pretty much. Dagger, Evoker, Side Note Evoker. That's pretty much it. Yeah, really tanky, really mobile with, like, lightning, like the lightning here. And lightning flash and stuff like that. Pretty good build, really tanky, really good mobility, really good side noting. Teamfight it's okay, but typically you want to play it in a side noting situation. It's good. I found literally everything needed Ecto. Yeah, Ectos is a pretty important item. It's like the currency for almost everything that is somewhat related to crafting. It's a really important thing. That's one of the backbones of the economy in Guild Wars 2 years. No Elementalist, please? Then I would say probably like Condi Con. That's not that mobile though. Probably like some Bruiser Paragon. That's probably the best, like Greatsword Paragon. That's very like mobile, has a lot of dodges and tankiness with it. That's probably what I would recommend. It's not as like meta as this build here, but it's definitely very strong as well. Like full strength and dodge spam Greatsword Paragon. It's actually very fun as well. Good build for players that enjoy like a more bruisery and mobile playstyle. I mean, if they don't come here, we would just win from this node, even if my team loses the other side of the map. It's fine. I was a bit like concerned if I died here in this 1-on-1 and then my team did not get any points, but we made it. We made it. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I think talking about Ectos and Lucent Modes and economy and stuff, I think Guild Wars 2's economy is incredibly well balanced. They have a really like the gold and values and stuff like that. They are pretty solid most of the time. The thing that is a little bit like not concerning necessarily, but something that is a bit like I'm not as like happy about is that the Lucent Mode situation, especially for the Legendary Relic, is a bit off. Like, why is that the case? Why do you have like so high requirements for Lucent Modes for getting a Legendary Relic? It's like one of the most expensive legendaries in the entire game, yeah, the Legendary Relic. And the weird part is I got it for free back in the day when they released it, and even after they released it, it was still pretty cheap. But over the course of time, because Lucent Modes got drained from the economy, the price of the whole Legendary Relic increased like crazy. So I would say this is one of the rare exceptions where the economist or the guy, whoever did the economy balancing in Guild Wars 2 was asleep or was not like really aware of what they are doing. But this is pretty like, what is going on, yeah? I don't know why they actually did it like that. I have really no clue about that. So what did I want to do? We wanted to do some shipwreck meta. There we go. Because each relic occupies space in the inventory, so you buy back slots and new characters from the shop. Oh my god, I spawned in the death animation of Mordromov. What? Is that possible? I did not know that. I thought the map closes. That's crazy. Dragon's Stand, I spawned in the final thing. Do I get the chest now? I have to check that actually. That's interesting. Very interesting to see. Yeah. Hi Syrma, do you think a sole action camp player can do all PvE content, including all CMs and LCMs? I think it depends a bit on the class and the build you play, because some builds obviously need targeting, you know, that you put down AoEs, and some AoEs you don't want to put where you actually look. Sometimes that can be in some weird situations in LCMs and stuff like that can actually happen. But if you play like rather like little ground targeting attacks and stuff like that, this is a pretty like doable thing, yeah. I have to check that. I really have to check that. Do I get the chest here? Probably not, but I have to check. I really do. Okay, I don't get the chest. I would have been so surprised. You know, I spawned in and I did like get the death animation. I thought it's like locked this area. I mean, I guess we can take the treasure mushrooms now because we are already here. So I guess we do those. chance of getting invisible boots. I mean, I don't want to say no again about this. Where is it? There's one. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's doable. It's not obviously. I think Action Cam Guild Wars 2 is not made for Action Cam in that sense that it's by design. They knew that this will happen. You know, that they knew that Action Cam will be coming out. So Action Cam is always a bit more of a challenge than normal. But if you are just more accustomed to it, then I think it's doable. Yes, you might need some practice, sure, especially in the harder modes, sure. But I think it's doable. Yeah. Yeah, it's a gold sync. Relics are gold sync for sure, for sure. There's another one. So let's see if we can find one more. I think there are like under 3 of them. Where is the one? There's another one, I think, here somewhere. It's been like years since I last did this, I have to be honest. It's been years since I last did like Dragon's Stand. I have no like memory where everything spawns, or at least when it spawns. That's the more important part. Okay, it's not here. I guess then it's here maybe? I don't know. Was I here before? I think I was. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No clue. Maybe here. Action Cam definitely seems troll in high level of PvP world versus world. Yeah, I would say like, especially in competitive modes, Action Cam, I have to be honest, I did not play Action Cam to a high level. So I'm not a person that can say, okay, Action Cam is the only thing you should play, yeah? But I tell you that Action Cam has the drawback of like AoEs in my opinion, that you have to aim them where you're looking, yeah? And this is inherently a drawback for like situations, like for example, I have this AoE attack, yeah, Abyssal Blood, and normally it would be cast on my mouse, but if I'm in Action Cam, it will be cast on where I'm looking. However, if I play PvP, maybe I want to run away, like I'm doing here from this orb or whatever, and I can cast it behind me. In Action Cam, that's just straight up impossible. Like, look at this. This is such a good, like, it denies them chasing me. This is like a key thing of becoming really good in PvP and World vs. World is actually using your vision, your movement while you cast attacks, especially if you run away from things. So I would say, yeah, Action Cam in competitive modes can be, I wouldn't say necessarily troll, but can be a disadvantage. And for PvE, where this is not really like important, especially if you play certain builds that don't have any AoEs or that don't want to do that anyway, then it's not a big issue, I would say. Yeah. Is it okay to first equip the power DPS with Ascended Gear and after that the Condi? Can I still play raids with Exotic? Oh yes, you can, of course, no problem. Exotic is completely fine for 99% of all the content. The only time where you need Ascended Gear is in Fractals. At least for higher level Fractals, yeah. I only play Guild Wars 2 on Steam Deck, and I love it. I mean, if it works for you, I mean, I'm not judging here. I'm not judging here. What do you recommend for keybinds? I find default difficult for my small hand. I mean, I pretty much would say everyone finds the default keybinds like bad. I think default keybinds are pretty horrible. So I have a guide about how I set up my keybinds, but I think the important part about the keybinds is that you find something that is comfortable for you. So for example, I highly recommend you to unbind like turn left and turn right. I think this is completely useless. So you have the A and D key potential to put anything there. I just use W and the S key. And I use a lot of times this like strafing, so Q and E, so to move left and right. This is something that is really like, I used it a lot. It's not necessary for most people, but I would say it's like, I really like to do that. And other than that, I have my weapon keys actually bound to the default ones, 1 to 5. But 6 to 0, I don't use in that regard. Yes, I have them bound to that, but that's because I have an MMO mouse. So this is something that I recommend people that want to really try hard for Guild Wars 2 that can be helpful, but it's not necessary. If you don't want to do that, don't want to have an MMO mouse, I would definitely rebind 6 to 0 keys to something that is closer to your W. So for example, A and D, if you rebound them, or you can use like X, you can use like C, you can use like even R and T. Those are close enough so you can actually use your buttons there. Or if you are a bit more, so to say, casual, you can always use, of course, also Control and Shift and stuff like that, the modifier keys on 1 and to 5, for example. Issue there is, of course, if you do that, you cannot press like 2 and Control 2 at the same time. So if I, for example, would want to use my Gladiator's Defense, which is an instant cast, as well as my Searing Fissure, or in that example, Echoing Eruption, then it's not possible to do that because one of them uses the same key in, so to say, a control situation or shift situation. And then it doesn't work. You cannot press them at the same time. But for casual players, I think that's not a big issue. Hopefully that helps. But I think keybinding in Guild Wars 2 is, I cannot say use this keybind setup because everybody is different. You know, some people like to have shift buttons and stuff like that. Some people like to have all of them on one hand and the mouse completely just for camera movement. I think you should find something that works for you, but the default keybinds, I'm pretty much like confident to say that they are for almost everybody horrible. The default keybinds are not like working for most people. Yeah, just not made for. I think they should change the default keybinds, but I don't know to what, to be honest. So everybody has to find something that works for them. Yeah. Has the solo condition convert build you posted been nerfed? They nerfed over the course of time a little bit of the damage, yes. They nerfed convert since, I think there was a nerf in December, and then there was a nerf in January, and now there will be a nerf in April. So did they really like, so in April, maybe you just didn't like hear that yet, but in April there will be a nerf to all PvE builds by 10 to 15%. Like pretty much every single PvE build will get a nerf to 10, at least 10%, to up to some builds actually get 33% of the damage reduced. So they really want to decrease the power level of DPS builds from 50k threshold down to like maximum 45k. And for boon DPS builds, they want to decrease the power level from like, I don't know, 43k threshold, upper threshold before the patch to like, I guess like 39, 38k. So like across the board, big damage decreases, and Conduit is one of them. But funnily enough, Conduit and Power Conduit as a full DPS build are currently like calculated to be still top tier, like 45k DPS or something after the nerfs. So not a big like downside there. Yeah. Default binds are mostly fine. You can't really change them, since anything more specific is just personal preference or individual. Exactly. I think you should find something that works for you, but I'm not saying that the default keybinds are horrible, but some of the binds are definitely, you know, who presses the 0 button to get the elite? Like what? That's impossible. How do you play with mouse and keyboard and have a hand big enough, the left hand or the right hand, whatever you use for your mouse, to get to the 0 button? So I think that's like a little bit of a weird thing, but in general, I think that's how I would say keybinds are in Guild Wars 2. Heard about that, but as a Revenant main, I'm alright because it seems like Conduit is still top DPS. Yeah, exactly. I think like people oversell this nerf. Like the nerf here is necessary because the power creep was crazy, and like a 10% nerf or 15% is actually okay, especially because they confirmed like 2 days ago that they will also nerf some boss HPs. So they will nerf the health pools of the End of Dragons and up expansion bosses. Not all of them, but most of them, which is obviously like if you decrease the damage output, you might also want to decrease the health pools so that the fights don't take necessarily longer. So this is actually, I think, for most players actually a win. I have to be honest here. I think that is pretty, like people are overselling this, I would say. Welcome, Ramst. Welcome. Yeah, nice to see you too. Hope you had a nice day so far. Hopefully they buff Heart of Thorn's raid boss HPs too. I mean, that would be really cool. Like not only nerfing stuff, but also putting older raid bosses a bit more up to date as well. That would be really nice, but they didn't say that. So I think for them it's easier to just decrease the health pools than to increase them, because if you increase them, you might take some people the kills away because they might not get it anymore. So that's at least my assumption. I think they really just want to decrease right now the health pools of the newer bosses. We have to see. Maybe in the future they go back and visit some other things as well. We will have to see. We will have to see. If my Elementalist needs 3 hits instead of 2 to kill normal mobs, I'd be really upset. I think in like most situations, especially in open world, you will not notice a big difference. Like a 10% damage nerf at the benchmarks means in real fights, it's smaller than 10%. And in casual fights, like not even like where you have quickness, alacrity, all that stuff, the number or the difference becomes even smaller. So I would say like for most players, you notice the patch notes being like pages upon pages, and then you go in game and you will probably not even notice a big difference for most builds. I would be very surprised if your build that 3 shots enemies now will need, or like 2 shots enemies now will need 3 shots to do that. I would be very, very surprised. I have to be honest. So don't be too sad about it. Yeah, nice. Welcome, Real Satis. Welcome. Yeah, I thought yesterday's stream was really nice, so I thought like, yeah, why not do another one? I had some time and people enjoyed yesterday's stream as well, so let's do that. Let's do that. But yeah, as usual, if you have any questions, any comments, just let me know. And we will also do some things later together in stream if you want to join. Yeah, I mean, the downstate Elementalist meme. Yeah, sure. I think Elementalist is not that bad anymore. Like, people really, like, back when the game came out, Elementalist was definitely a class where I would say, okay, this is a class where you definitely have to be better than if you played Warrior because you die way faster. But nowadays, with the Jadebot core, with your active defenses, with your supports around you, I don't know. I think Elementalist downstate is probably not, like, you don't go more into downstate than other classes anymore. I mean, did you see what they did with the partner program? I'm not completely sure what you mean with it. I know some of the things, but maybe there was some news that I did not get yet. I mean, maybe. Let me know if you have some crazy news that I don't know yet. Always interested in news, you know. What are the tabs next to your Blackline trading post? This is from add-ons, like legal add-ons. So this is Nexus, just for updating my Arc DPS in the background and stuff. And then I have Blishot. So this is pathing module and this is the session tracker. The session tracker is really cool because you can select here specific items, all of the nice items that you have, and can track how much you actually got in this session. This is a nice add-on if you want to farm, or I use it for World vs. World, how many kills I got and stuff like that. It's just a nice metric. It's not really like influencing the gameplay, but it gives you a bit more information on what you did. Yeah. They sent in confirmation to all people that applied and then sent us a mail. They said that was a mistake. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, this is pretty sad. I don't know enough about this, but this is always horrible if that happens. Like, to the people that are actually affected by it, but also I don't like the situation for ArenaNet because that's probably a technical mistake or something like that happens, and this is just sad that like both sides have now a negative effect on that. It's just sad, but yeah, I mean, mistakes happen. Yeah. As you've said, most people aren't min-maxing their builds, so it's still likely that through a better player, most people can still actually increase the damage output overall. Yeah, I think especially if you play better, get closer to the rotation that is actually the best, you will probably notice a way more increase than you notice from the nerfs to the build. Yes, well put, well put. Yeah, it's actually really sad, especially if you applied and you now get the deny. That is really, really sad. Yeah, I'm sorry for you. Sadly, I cannot influence that, of course. It's their decision. So just apply again, I guess, if you didn't get it this time. You just, I had to try it 3 times as well. Yes, I have a video about this as well, about the add-ons. So Blishart and stuff like that. Let me quickly, I can show you the video. Give me a second. Or I did not show you, but I can send it to you. Give me a second. It should work, actually. No, it doesn't work. Give me a... Yeah, it does work. The bot is just slow. There we go. This is, if you go to this, the mouse cursor add-on is also this one, and this is the video that links it. And then you can then you can actually check it out, how to set up and what it can do. It's also it's just a nice add-on. I like to use it a lot. It makes my gameplay a bit smoother. Yes. Yeah. Are most Condi builds getting gutted in the new update? New player with a couple ascended pieces and scared to invest in Condi? Anything that changes? No, I think like the general gist of the next upcoming patch is you will lose 10% damage at the high end. So if you're a high end player, you will notice a 10 to 15% damage decrease. But if you play on a, like, if you're a new player, if you play on a bit more like casual level, you will not notice a big difference. Especially, like, don't forget, everything will get nerfed. So it doesn't matter where you invest, you will probably, if you want to get the highest damage out, you will just not have a change at all, because yeah, the damage in total will go down, but any build will be changed. So I would say just see it how it is and just go for the build that you enjoy and that you were going before anyway. Yeah. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Maybe a silly question, but what is so special about this meta you're about to do? Why farm it? So there are two things why I do it. First of all, this is the pretty, like, it's quite fast. You know, it's a fast meta. It's like it takes 5 to 10 minutes, which is one of the better ones. And the thing is why I do it. I know there will be a legendary coming out. Yeah, a legendary accessory. Not that I need it, but I want to get the skin of it. And this will happen in May. And it's pretty likely that when it comes out in May, that it will require some of the Vision of Eternity maps currency from this map here. And therefore I want to farm it. Because then I don't have to farm it when it's actually launching. You know, it's one of the worst things that can happen is that a legendary comes out for a veteran and I want to get it and I need like 50 times this meta event. Yeah. So I better get this stuff going already. And like I said, it's a fast meta, so it's not too bad to do. It takes like 10 minutes and it has a chance of getting an infusion. Yeah. So it's one of those metas that are okay in terms of like how much value they give, but they are also having a chance of an infusion. And if I get it, then I'm a very happy streamer here. So that's the 3 reasons, so to say. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I sent it in the chat, actually. I sent it in the YouTube chat, the video. But I have actually multiple guides about how to set up your add-ons and stuff. For example, Arc DPS, I also have a nice video about it. So just check out my channel. And of course, you can always check out my website as well, where you can find all my important videos and find them which you're looking for. Because sometimes on YouTube, it's a bit annoying to find the videos. On my website, you can find them a bit easier often. Yeah. Map currency, exactly. I may have come to join you. Sure. Didn't realize an infusion dropped this way. I mean, not saying that this will drop, but it can drop. It has a chance of dropping out of this chest. I'll show you when I get the chest. It has a very, very rare chance of dropping. And to be honest, like going for the map currency here is like the goal. And if I get an infusion on top of that, I mean, I'm not saying like no. And that's just a really good thing to get. That's the whole reason. I mean, Guild Wars 2 is a game where you have to set yourself some goals. You know, it's like a sandbox game. You want to set yourself own goals. And for me, it's just like I want to get like all the legendaries and want to have fun while doing so. You know, I already have all of the legendaries that are currently out. So I prepare for the ones that are coming up. You know, I'm just like completely without a hobby other than Guild Wars 2. So that's my goal, you know. And it's fun. It's fun talking to stream and just doing some pretty easy meta events, having some fun here. Hopefully enjoy it as well. Hello there, I'm a new player and I'm looking for a core Revenant build and skill rotation as I'm level 80 now, but can't find a proper DPS build. I got full Berserker stats, 2 sword and a staff. I mean, that's already good. That's already a really good build. And I would say the rotation is you're typically going for Charles and Shiro, so Dwarf and the Assassin stance. And if you have those, then you just the only thing that you are willing or that you should do here is like using your sword, using a 2, 4, and 5 skill on sword, and using that off cooldown, and using always the 2 toggle skills. So you want to use your toggle skill in Shiro, which is impossible odds, that's how it's called. And in Chalice, you want to use the hammers, the spinning hammers. And whenever you have the energy drained, you swap legends. That's pretty much what you want to do. Of course, this is not something that I would recommend you to stay on forever, because it's just like typically elite specs are more damage than not core classes. But if you just don't have any expansion yet, then I would recommend like playing Chalice and Shiro with sword and sticking to sword, using the auto attack, the 2 skill, the 4 skill, and the 5 skill. And whenever you have the legend swap off, you use that one. And use the impossible odds and the hammers. That's it. But yeah, I mean, it's really not too difficult. Like power revenants in general are most of the time pretty straightforward. There are some, of course, intricacies if you want to get to the highest benchmarks and stuff, but they are not too challenging. Typically, you want to use swords. That's pretty much it. Swap to the staff only if you need CC or defenses like a block or a Conde cleanse. Yep, that's it. Yeah, glad to see you too, Prisma. Glad to see you too. Did they mention which legendary accessory it will be? So we know it will be one from World vs. World, an accessory, so not like specifically an accessory. It will not be a ring, it will not be a back piece, it will be specifically an accessory, and it will be one open world one, or at least that's my... we know it will be one from Vision of Eternity, so I guess it will be from the new map and maybe from some of the old map currencies. And we know it will be one from World vs. World. So we'll get 2, one of World vs. World, one accessory, and one from Visions of Eternity maps, I guess. So pretty straightforward, I would say. If you enjoy those maps, you can grind them already. If you don't, then too bad, because that's pretty much the only way of getting this accessory, I would say. Yeah. Watch the video on getting your final legendary. That blew my mind. Ultimate quality of life. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely nice quality of life, but it's definitely also, it was just like a long-term goal of mine. You know, I really love this game, and you have to set yourself some goals if you want to play it for a very long time. If you just want to get to level 80 and get ascended gear, then you are done within a month or something. Yeah. So it's not something that I would say is very long-term friendly. Therefore, I set myself some goals years ago and slowly worked on that, of course. And yeah, I mean, you slowly get there, I guess. You slowly get there. Don't you need an expansion to have Revenant? That is a good point. Good point. You actually, Core Revenant is the only class where you don't need to play Core. I mean, depends. Do you get... No, I guess if you buy only... No, can you do that? Let me think of it. Can you actually have Chantia Wilds, or can you have like Soto, where you don't get an elite spec, but you have an expansion? Is that possible and you unlock Revenant? I actually have never thought about that. But it's a good point. You need to unlock Revenant, you need to have at least some expansion. Yeah, that's a good point. Good point here by chat. You know, that's the problem of a veteran that played the game always with all the expansions at the point. So yeah, I might not know all the intricacies of what you can and what you cannot do. Yeah. Any tips on learning a rotation easier? I would say my rotation learning process is always like looking at the numbers and looking at the actual like attacks in a pattern, trying to memorize them, and then just grinding it, being patient on the golem, trying to just repeat it until you get muscle memory. You know, it's really about understanding what a rotation, why it works in a certain way, why certain attacks are pressed in a certain order, and then you just repeat it. You know, try to get the opener down. If you get the opener down, go to the next step. If you get the next step down, try to get everything in order together. And then you slowly go from there. And when you have everything completed, then you are golden. Then you can actually also hopefully achieve that in real fights somewhat closely. But don't stress too much, you know, just be patient. That's my biggest tip here. Especially in real fights, there's so much chaos often that you will probably not get the perfect benchmark. It's very unrealistic. Full legendary armory is also my ultimate goal, but it will take a long time. Yeah, it takes a while. But see it as that it's the journey is the goal. If you are a player that is like very goal oriented, then as soon as you reach the goal, you will probably quit the game. So see it as like, as long as you have this goal, you have some incentives to play the game. Yes, you might take a break as you did earlier, which is completely fine. But I think as a normal player, it's one of the best things to have goals like that. Pretty long-term goals where everybody is like pretty like occupied for a long time. I think that's really like one of the biggest positives of having such big long-term goals. You know, I played the game for so long that my long-term goals are pretty much non-existent in the game anymore. I still enjoy it. I would love to have more long-term goals, but what can you do? You know, I cannot force ArenaNet to make more legendaries or something. So I will just take what I get and hopefully enjoy the game even without any long-term goals. But yeah, that's just my view on the thing. Been there a long time. Tier list viewer, nice to see you live. I'm using Spectre at the moment. It's so chill. Yeah, the Spectre is also really good. I might play it later as well on like some raids, bosses and stuff. It is really good. It is like one of my all-time favorite classes. Sadly, Spectre is one of the bigger losers of the next patch. It's not like completely like unplayable, of course, but it definitely loses more than the average DPS, sadly. But you can also play it as a healer, so no stress there, no worries there. They didn't change that one at all, as usual. Healers untouched. We love to see that. So, nice. Top DPS is Quickness Conduit, even though with like a completely scuffed rotation. It's fine. It's fine. No, not DPS. We got out DPS when he woke up. That's fine. That's fine. It was still fun. So we wanted to see which of the loot boxes has the chance of dropping this. It's this one, the Hammer Hearts Recovered Horde. This one has a chance of dropping the infusion, as far as I know. You can get, let me showcase this. How is it called? Like bubble. Yeah, chromatic bubble wand infusion. Hello, doesn't work. Okay. This one, like for 5k gold or 4.5, this is what you can get. Yeah, it has like a very low chance of getting, but if you get it, you are a very lucky person. So we take that. Yeah, healer is good. Healer is definitely good. Okay, so I think it's time. We are doing an Iceblood Saga run. So, I guess we do that. Let's see. Let's see what the commander wants. I guess I will be the healer. That's how it goes. Yeah, I think it's like you have to know what certain meta events give you, how you can get the most value out of that. I'm always, you know, I got to so many legendaries in the game, of course, because I played insane amounts of Guild Wars 2, sure. But also because having a rather, like, how can I tell you, rather efficient mindset. You know, I like to play efficiently, so I do meta events that are fast. I like to do meta events that have a chance of giving me something on top of the actual currency and stuff. So that's why I actually do this one specifically. I think the Starlit one has also the chance of getting the infusion. But the thing is about the Starlit one is that it takes at least double the amount of time. So it's just like not as efficient in my opinion. Yeah. I've got my engineer geared up for power and condition. I want to get a set for healing. Would you say engineers have a good healing spec, or should I craft by the gear for a ranger and lock the druid spec? I think it depends a bit. Let me quickly think about this, because like my commander is apparently looking for something. Let's see. Let's see. Interesting, interesting. Wild. Classic. The commander has no plan what's going on, and we just have to sort the roles ourselves. The classic. You will see. Yeah, either way. So engineer healers are like amalgam healer is pretty much a meme. Holosmith healer doesn't exist. So you have the choice between playing alacrity heal mechanist and quickness heal scrapper. And I would say out of those two, I think the scrapper is actually a bit better. But personally, I think it's actually pretty like okay. They are okay to be played. I guess I'm DPS then. Okay, then we play DPS. Check, is that DPS? Let's see. We will see. You know, I have no clue what's going on. We will see. But yeah, I think like Druid healer is good, but I think heal scrapper is also quite good. So for most players, play what you like. I think it's not something that is like completely like not worth playing. I think if you're an engineer main and you want to play a healer, I think quickness heal scrapper or alacrity mechanist, heal mechanist, they are pretty solid. You really don't need to stress too much about it. It's really not bad. Yeah. Do you think that Power Ritualist will be still viable after the nerfs? I think Power Reaper will be actually better than Power Ritualist, but don't forget, Ritualist is not necessarily really good because of the numbers. Ritualist is extremely good because of its utility that it has baseline in the kit. You have a teleport, you have projectile destruction, you have stability in your base kit, so that will always be useful. So I would say if you're a Ritualist enjoyer, you will definitely not have a problem playing it after the patch. Yes, the damage numbers on Reaper might be higher, we will have to see about that, but they might be higher, but at least you have the option to switch around. You know, that's a luxury that not a lot of specs have. So I think it's still playable for sure after that. Yeah. Welcome, Snowdrop. Welcome. We are doing good today. Having some fun talking about actually the balance patch and people asking about, of course, how the nerfs affect stuff. But I have to be honest, I think that, for example, Necromancer is one of the pretty much, I have to be honest, I think Necromancer is probably the biggest winner if you think about the whole class of the whole patch. Reaper effectively gets buffed. Harbinger effectively gets a little nerf, but less nerf than all the other specs. Scourge gets completely untouched, therefore goes up in the meta like positioning. And you have Ritualist. Yeah, Ritualist loses damage, but it's still extremely strong. And I would say, like, for most players, Necromancer stays either on the same or gets even better. So if you're a Necromancer enjoyer, the next patch is you're pretty happy about it. At least that's what I think. You know, some people always say, oh, my pure Ritualist, you know, it was so good, it did the top DPS as a quickness build. Yeah, sure, but I mean, I think that deserved a nerf then. But that's just how it goes, you know. Do you think Power Virtuoso, even Conti Virtuoso, is easier on fingers compared to Amalgam? I have to say it depends what you consider easier on the fingers, you know. I think especially Condition Virtuoso is, from the rotation, it's extremely easy. Like, it's one of the easiest like condition builds that you can play. It's really forgiving in what it can do and how it works. The thing that is a bit like, it's a bit spammy. Yeah, so it's not something that is like you press only one button every minute. That's not how it works. So I would say Amalgam is pretty on par with Condition Virtuoso. I think Power Virtuoso has a bit of a tougher rotation than Condition Virtuoso, but is less spammy. At least that's how I feel. Yeah, I would say they are pretty similar. Like, you can play some crazy like 3-kit Amalgam and it gets very complicated and is definitely quite challenging for the fingers. But I would say for most people, I would say they are pretty much similar. Yeah. Do you think Soul Beast is bad at PvP and World vs. World? I think Soul Beast is one of those classes that is like always somewhere in the middle, you know? It's not a class that is absolutely top tier meta pick in any game mode, but it's also far from being the worst. So I would not say it's a bad class, like at all for competitive modes. It's more that it is something that, oh my god, I got bugged now. I hate this. I thought I was out of range, but my dash brought me in and now I have to wait. This is always when I use Continuum Split while I'm getting trapped here. It's so bad. I thought I'm out of range, now I have to wait until it pushes me out again. So sad. But yeah, I think like in PvP, I think Soul Beast is specifically Condition Soul Beast. Poison Soul Beast is actually a really solid build that you can play. And really underrated. It's one of the best like side noders right now that is not a meta pick. And other than that, I would say in World vs. World, it's good for roaming. Yeah, it's like good as a power build or even Celestial build. You can play that as roaming quite well. I would, however, not play it in a Circ. Yeah, in Circ, it's more like for small scale, yes, with immobilized Soul Beast and stuff like that. But for large scale, like 50 versus 50, look for a different Ranger spec, I would say. Or even better, look for something else, a different class. Ranger is not always the best choice for 50 versus 50, with the exception of Druid. Let's get this done. Very good. If Arena and announced Guild Wars 3, would you move on to that game or keep making content for Guild Wars 2 or both? So it depends heavily on what kind of like the game, how the game would look like. So if the game would be a gacha game with like, I don't know, cards and like, I don't know, only about story and lore, then maybe I would not play Guild Wars 3. But from my educated guesses, what we will get, it looks like a game that I would be also interested to play. So I will definitely play it and I will definitely make content about it. And if Guild Wars 2 is still being played, which I highly suspect it will after Guild Wars 3 will launch, if it will ever launch, I will make content for both. That's the short answer. TLDR, don't worry, I will make content for Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars 3 as long as as long as both of the games exist. Yes. I also think the Dragon Hunter nerf isn't even that bad for the average player, since Radiance is easier to play upkit than Virtues. Yeah, that is pretty good summary here, I would say. I think in general, like Dragon Hunter, people always look at the numbers on Dragon Hunter and say, okay, Dragon Hunter, you play it because of the crazy burst. But I think they are wrong. I think Dragon Hunter, for the average player, you play it because of its safetiness. It is incredibly safe with the blocks, with potential also for range. It's just a really solid pick. Like, it's just really good. Even if the damage numbers goes down a bit, especially if you play like the Virtuous one. But the Virtuous one, like most players wouldn't even reach in real fights. So yeah, I definitely think like Dragon Hunter, yeah, maybe high damage number nerf on paper, but I think in real fights it's still a very, very valid like spec. What kind of patch you're talking about? Is there an announcement, some new patch? So there will be a patch on the 14th of April. They announced it. It's a balance patch preview. They always announce their balance patches like a couple of weeks in advance. And this time it's pretty much just a numbers change of all the numbers that we have for DPS builds. So they will decrease the damage of almost all the DPS builds. That's pretty much what they are doing. Yes. Yeah, one button hammer, Dragon Hunter, Core Guardian as easy builds. Yeah, I think like Guardian was always the king of being good DPS while still having good defenses. Like just because of the virtues, just because of the, I don't know, broken class with like passive heals and stuff like that in there. And also like it's a heavy armor class. I don't know. I would definitely say this is something that people underestimate, that the base Guardian is so good that it doesn't really matter which elite spec you have. They are always really good, like all of them. Yeah, Guardian is just like ArenaNet's favorite child at the moment, I would say. Maybe together with Mesmer. Yeah. What scares you of the sub goal? Oh yeah, the sub goal. Yeah, the next one scares me pretty heavily, I have to admit. Like having to do quick play with like 9 complete randoms that are not even watching the stream or something. So people that just started playing raids or something, going in raid quick play. And then and then having to play DPS as we announced yesterday, and then not even being allowed to use anyone else, you know, and just doing that for the whole stream, just queuing up, pugging, so to say, the high DPS role. Ooh, that will be quite painful. Quick play is already quite challenging with like completely new players, some of them at least, because yeah, they are just not the easiest fights in there. But having then also to play DPS where you have the least impact on your group, that can be painful. So that's why I'm a bit scared of that. For like 2 to 3 hours of doing that permanently, I might break to that one. And I don't want to have that here. I don't want to be the guy that broke on quick play, you know? That is a bad image. Bad image. Which way of getting Legendary MS faster? PvP is faster. World vs. World is one of the easiest, but it's the most slow one. Yeah. Welcome, Haldir. Welcome, welcome. Hope you had a good day. Just DPS, not Boon? Yes, I can only play DPS. Nothing else, just DPS. I am not allowed to play quick DPS or anything, so it will be horrible with the Boon uptime as well, so very painful to play. What spec and build would you recommend for maximum mobility in solo roaming? Thief. It's always like Daredevil. Like it's insanely valuable in terms of mobility, and it's just Thief is unbeatable in terms of mobility in roaming. Yeah. I feel like Guild Wars 3 would be different from Guild Wars 2. Arena wouldn't want to compete with their own product. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm preaching like for the last year, that I think they are doing Guild Wars 3, but people always think it's like an upgrade to Guild Wars 2. I highly doubt that. I think it will be something that is maybe tangential, an upgrade, but I think it's way more likely that it is something that is like a game that stands on its own completely, maybe in the same universe, but it is completely a different audience. Maybe not completely, but mostly a different audience, so that you can run Guild Wars 1, Guild Wars 2, and Guild Wars 3 at the same time, and players can play all of them. Some players will only play one of them, you know? That's what I expect. Yes. Do you know any method to quicken up the PvP ranking? So the best method to do that specifically is like using all the boosters. So you're talking about PvP rank, not the PvP leaderboard rank. Yeah, so not like you are currently in Platinum or something. You're talking specifically about leveling up your PvP like level, so to say. Yeah. To do that, I would recommend using experience boosters. They give you more experience, and using, I guess, the celebration booster also gives you a bit more things. But I in general, just play more. There is not really like a good way to do that. Yeah, I think there might be a guild infusion as well. I have to check that. I never thought about that, using that, but yeah, in general I think there are like 2 or 3 buffs that you can use, but other than that, just playing more. That's the main thing. Yeah, that's the main thing. Welcome, Sway, welcome. Glad you're enjoying the content. More to come, more to come. When I do quick play, I always pick quick DPS. I can handle no alacrity, but no quickness is painful. Yeah, I agree. I think that will be the most painful part if I have to do this after the sub goal is reached. That I have to play DPS and therefore cannot get quickness or alacrity on my own. So I need someone that actually does it. And you never know, you know, we might be having like 2 healers and 2 quick DPS or something, and everybody's happy. But we also might have 10 DPS players, and none of them are doing more DPS than 2k. That could happen as well. Who knows? That's the beauty of quick play. And beauty here is a little bit like, I would say, not the most nice word to describe it. Yeah. But yeah, will be exciting times for sure. But yeah, if you want, we can also do a quick play weekly thing after this Dragon Storm. So if you're up for that, we can do that here on stream. Oops. So if you're willing to do that, we can do that here as well. Yes. So in like 5 to 10 minutes or something, we'll do the weekly quick play. You can join if you want. Anyone can join. That will happen. And the nice part about quick play is this is not the sub goal. I want to be clear here. This is not the sub goal. It's just a weekly raid quick play. The nice part about this is that you can just do it with like people and queue up together. So we will do that in like 5 to 10 minutes. If you want to get some legendary insights, you don't have to be experienced or anything. You can join. Do you need to add the extension that shows you what build you're playing on Twitch? I thought about this, but the thing is, I switch builds very often. Yeah, so on the one part, that would be very nice to see this extension and people can see what build I'm playing. But I switch builds like sometimes every 5 minutes. And then this extension, which uses the API, might not update that fast. And then people see a different build. So I'm a bit scared of like spreading information about my build that is actually not the build that is like, thanks for the applause, really appreciate it. But I'm a bit scared of like sharing like wrong information. That's why if you want to know my build, you can always ask. Then you get the instant answer to this specific build that I'm playing. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. Thinking maybe Condition Virtuoso, some kind of fast condi without quickness. Condition Virtuoso is in my opinion not a good choice. You want to play power builds in quick play, I would say. Power builds in quick play are preferred because you have very easy, exactly kick W. You have exactly like 1 or 2 fights where condition builds actually have the time to ramp up in those fights. In most fights, you have a rather short ramp up time. You have a lot of phases. Looking at, for example, Old Lion's Court, which is one of the worst rates to ever play Condi, because you have like every 10% of the fight you get like the boss going away. So stuff like that. I would recommend playing something that is power based. Yeah, that is my tip there. But if you like Condi builds, I mean, it's quick play. It's not some try hard content. You can play whatever you like and you will succeed. You know. Just saying, if you asked for my opinion, I would recommend a power build, a fast, bursty power build, something like that. That's why I will probably play like, I don't know, Power Virtuoso or something like that. Or, yeah, I would guess something like that, yeah. That has a good power burst. Power Chrono is also not the best, because Power Chrono, for example, has like a ramp up time with delusion spawning and despawning. So, if you want to min-max something that gives a little bit of like everything very fast, that's the best. I can't remember if it was yesterday or today, but you talked about giving the warrior some love. Yeah, I mean, we can't play actually. I can, because we're doing quick play later with like people here on stream. I am not. I'm allowed to play something else than DPS. Then I would probably play some warrior. Yeah, I can play some Paragon. Have you got any recommendations for fun builds for Fractals? I would say for Fractals, Power Berserker is really good, but I would say for most situations it's probably Paragon for Fractals specifically. Like Heal Paragon is extremely fun, extremely good. What percentage crit chance is needed for Scrapper to not overcape on crit chance when boons and talents kick in? So typically it's you have to check out the build, the specific build. I have a build guide for Power Scrapper, and there I show you what exact crit chance you need. Maybe someone in chat knows it by heart, but I think it's like not very high, because you can take a lot of Dragon's pieces. It's 45% or something, if I remember correctly. But please don't quote me on that. I have to check it. I would have to check it before I give you the definite answer to this. But you can always like go in the golem area and activate Fury, activate like your buffs, and go on the golem and see how much crit chance you have by opening the hero panel. That should always work. Any idea the best way to find a guild? So you can always ask in map chat, I would say. Or in the forums. Those 2 ways are probably the most easy and like guaranteed ways to finding a guild that you're looking for a specific piece of content. My toxic wish would be a second scene set up in OBS, fully zoomed in on the quickness uptime counter and hearing you groan at 12% uptime in the background. Oh my god, yeah. It would be like, you know, just opening the window, and like every time there should be like some, you know, there is some kind of like, you have this board where you press a button like a stream deck, and whenever you feel like you have no quickness, you press this button and it zooms in on the quickness. The whole screen is covered in my quickness uptime being only like 12% or something. It would be fun, like always, like every 5 minutes, like it's only 12%. Yeah. Nice, it was apparently 45%, so actually remembered correctly. Impressive. Could you please explain what role of support Spectre in World vs. World Zergs? How should I prioritize skills? I'm still not entirely sure how to properly use F1 and F2 in particular. So in general, support Spectre is all about supporting allies. You never want to target enemies with support Spectre. You want to use your AoE attacks on allies. You want to use your AoE attacks that heal on allies. You want to use the only attacks that you might use is your Elite Well, if you use that one, on enemies because it's a nice AoE pull. Other than that, you want to use your Shroud skills, your Scepter skills on allies to provide AoE healing, barrier, and boons. This is how it works. So F1, F2, you use that on your allies. That's typically what you do. However, the F1 can also be used on allies if you on enemies if you want to get more Shadow Force. That's the only exception. Other than that, you deal no damage. You're really only there for healing and boons and stuff like that. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. Is guild important or mandatory? No, not at all. Guild Wars 2, the name is completely misleading. Like, the guilds are nice and all for community and some buffs and stuff, but they are far from mandatory. I would even say that most players don't even notice a difference if you would remove a guild. Like, guilds are not really important. Really. Not a big problem. So, let me set it up. What do I play? I play Warrior, so let's get a orange pet. There we go. And let me quickly get my thing here. So it's time for the quick play. For the weekly quick play. Time for the weekly quick play. Just posting my stuff here so you can see it. Yeah. Is Paragon accepted well in the community for heal role? Oh yes, it is. It is really good. Like, heal Paragon is a really, like, this is a solid healer. I will play it now, actually. I will play it now. Heal Paragon is really good. Opinion on Deadeye? I think Deadeye is okay in all game modes. Deadeye is not a class that I would say is like very popular, sadly. It's like, it works, it's fun. It works in all game modes, but I think it's okay. That's what it is. It's always like for me in like A and B tier. I would never put it in S tier in any game mode. I would never put it in D tier. It's, if you enjoy it, play it. If you don't, yeah, play something else. That's what I would do. Yeah. Yeah, good point. The name refers to the Guild Wars, so the specific like history event. That is a good point, but you know, it's still like you have a name for the game, and the game name implies something. Even if that's not meant with the actual name, it implies something. So a player that never heard about the game will definitely think, oh, guilds, I know what a guild is. So thinks about community. But in Guild Wars 2, it's really like, is it that thing? Or is it like really referring to the historic event? Yeah. Okay, so let's if no one wants to join, I will just list it in the raids LFG, I guess. Is it 10 times? I think it's 10 times. It's 10 times, yeah. Okay. We need quick DPS or a heal. I guess that's it. Yeah. Any specs you can suggest? Currently playing for 2 months now with a heal Chronomancer, but often get kicked since I don't have any other builds rather than Electric Heal. I mean, if you play heal Chronomancer, you can also play Quickness without like any big problems. You just swap one trait and it's fine. I would obviously recommend that if you can do that. Other than that, I would say like learning, like for example, like a DPS build is always an option. Like learning DPS is like really like a solid thing, yeah, because you get like so much options. If you play Chronomancer and DPS, you are like already covered with almost everything, yeah. So you have DPS here. Snow gets also to play DPS. Okay. Hey Syrma, I've been following you on Twitch and YouTube for some time now. Thank you all for the guides you made. They're really helpful. Since English is my second language, I sometimes have to slow your videos down because you speak quite fast, which can make it a bit hard for me to follow at times. Please don't take this a negative comment. I just small note from someone who doesn't have English as their main language. Yeah, I can totally see that, and I'm really sorry to hear that. But I think it's like, don't stress about it. If it helps for you to make the videos like slower, I mean, I'm perfectly happy with that, you know. And I will try to speak more precisely, more clearly. But I also have to be honest that I also know people that are not native speakers or are native speakers and actually have to speed up my videos like ×2. So I think there's like, it always depends who you ask. So I will do my content, I will try to speak clearly, I will try to speak grammatically correct, and then you can use the features to slow it down or speed it up. I hope that makes sense. And thanks that you enjoy my content nonetheless. Yeah. What's the quickest way to get Ascended Gear as a new player? Fractals? I would say it's not Fractals. It's like Fractals are okay, but typically Wizard's Vault is insanely good. Wizard's Vault is insanely good because you get like Ascended Gear from here, from those chests per like reset, or you can play Raids. Raids are typically like really good. Okay, so what we need, one more support. One more support would be good, and then we are fine. Yeah, glad to hear that, Buddha. Yeah, I try to be like excited about the game because that's what I am. Yeah, passionate about the game. That's what it is. Yeah. So now we need some DPS. We have almost full DPS, so we need some healer or something. Yeah. Okay. What has been the goal for 50? The goal for 50 was like a 500 gold giveaway. Yeah, it was a 500 gold giveaway. I know. Rayward, you're already covered. We need one more. We need 4 supports, and we only have 3 at the moment. So don't worry, Rayward. It's there. Okay. Yeah. I just saw the goal in right side. It's so small on my screen. Yeah, I don't want to like make the whole screen, so to say, like just covered in this. So that's why I do it like that. Okay, we have an alacrity heal. Very good. Wait, who is alacrity heal? Yeah, Emmy is still good. Please do so. Very good. And then we have like there we go, and then we can look for DPS. Because apparently people want to play DPS. Who thought? Yeah. And then we can hopefully have a smooth quick play run. Who will tell? Yeah, I mean, I think quick play is one of the things that is definitely everyone can join. I'm not even asking for like having experience or something. We will get you through. This is like completely fine. Hopefully it works though. This is the important part. Hopefully it works. Yeah. So let's see if that works. Please let me work. Does it? We have full squad. I don't want to disband the squad now. I think that's how it works. You know, I have never done it with a full squad, but I think that's how it should work. Yeah, and hopefully it works now to make that smooth. Let's see. Yeah. I'm on a U. Yes. Okay, it worked. Very nice. It worked. That's what we like. That's what we like. With the wound setup. There we go. Is quick play farming in a sense a decent method for charts? So I would say the 10 of them, yes. Like playing 10 quick plays per week in raid specifically, that's good. That's a good thing because it provides you with like good like access to some legendary insights, and you get good access to, for example, the just magnetite charts very easily. But doing it after or more than 10, I think I would not recommend this. Like this is like pretty, you lose a lot of the value. Yeah. And I have to be honest, like as a player, you should always try to look at stuff that is valuable and play stuff that is like reasonably efficient. And doing more than 10 quick plays per week is like barely worth it. That better play something that is like a normal raid boss then. That is easy. Like for example, like Shiver Peak Pass or like Mersat Overseer or something that is really easy, like everybody can clear. Then this is a better way to do that because that you haven't done yet and you get more magnetite shards there anyway. Yeah. Blades on pumping 50k DPS in fractals. Holy moly, you found like one of the rare, how's it called? Rare animals, the rare beasts, yeah, that actually exist. Barely like visible in the open world or in like actual pugging scene. Typically they are in raids, in tryhard snowcrows groups and stuff like that, yeah. So congrats that you found one. That's good. Very nice. Welcome, Arthur. Welcome. Nice you could make it to the stream. Yeah. So my American friends are here as well. That's good. Very good. Red LFG is more healthy on EU based on what I saw. Yeah, I think I noticed that NA LFG is always a bit lower in terms of population than EU is. But I think especially with the update that we got with like the raid rewards and stuff like that, and especially the raid dailies, the LFG is always active. Like I play sometimes to really demon hours and I find groups then. It's crazy, you know. Sometimes during the week I play at 9 p.m. before I work and I find something, you know. This is pretty crazy. So yeah, definitely a good update in that regard. I cannot judge how active NA is. You know, I don't play as much on NA because my ping is just worse there, obviously. But yeah, definitely I would say something that I noticed. Yeah, that is smooth. I like it. Very smooth run so far. Good group. Better than the average quick play experience. That much is for sure. Yeah. And what's the DPS build for fractals? Thief and fractals is like in Condi fights, you would probably play Condi Spectre. It's extremely safe, really good for range DPS and stuff like that. For power fights, I would say either you play Staff, I would say probably Staff Daredevil or Staff Antiquary. Those two are the only good options, and they are not perfect because they are like not insanely good with like AoE. They are pretty average with AoE. I would say the power DPS Antiquary is probably your best bet if you can play it for power DPS builds. Yeah. Yes. Love's back to you, Nardo. Love back. I enjoy having a very multicultural stream, so always happy to hear that as well. 4:30 a.m. Just happened to catch you. Nice, 4:30 a.m. Nice that I still have you there in stream then. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I want to stream more often and also during my evening hours. So hopefully that should be better for NA people. But of course, sadly, if it's evening and prime time in AA, then I'm hopefully fast asleep. You know, this is something that is sadly not manageable, you know. EU has just too much of a time shift if I want to reach the prime time of an NA. That would be like in the middle of the night on EU. That's just very sad, but that's sadly how it works. That's how a big world works with time zones and stuff, yeah. Yeah, glad to hear that, Nando. Glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm trying to do more stuff, more community stuff now, but also other things. There we go. Remain in squad and exit to Lion's Arch air drone. I guess that's what we need to do. No, we lost people. No. no. Okay, I mean, the buttons are too challenging. I mean, we lost only DPS players. So I guess we are looking for that. So I think we have everything. Big blades on pumping. Oh my god, that's good. Yeah, that's actually true here. Very true. It is. We cannot move here because what? Ah, wait. What? What? This is concerning. I have to like it kicks my commander. No. What? What's going on? Why do people leave? We didn't even start with the thing yet. Okay. I guess we have everything. There we go. Yeah, I think they misclicked. That's pretty common. I also had to be slowing down a bit and reading everything to make sure that it works, you know. It's not something that is like that easy. Okay, start matchmaking. I lose my commander tag for whatever reason. because I enter quick play as a commander. They say, no, no commander allowed. Okay, we have old line squad. No CC, please. That's the important part. We can already command the squad. No, we can't. It's a ready check, I guess. That's how it is. We have everyone back in, hopefully. And some CCing here. We also take banner in this one, just for safety measures. So, the first one doesn't need to be CC'd. Really important. Know this also to myself. So, let's see if we have anybody like going insane on the break bar. No, that's good. Already really good looking. Better than a lot of the normal quick plays. So, already liking this. Already liking this. But yeah, if you have any questions about the fights as well that we are doing right now, just let me know. You know, it's always like important. I might know stuff that you don't know. So if you have any questions, just ask, you know, especially when it comes to fights that I'm doing. I might not explain everything, but if there are questions open, I'm always happy to talk about it, of course. You really notice here the difference in like damage output. I have to be honest. I normally in normal mode, I obviously play the normal mode most of the time. It takes way longer to kill those things. It's really the difference here in like damage output is pretty significant because of the buffs here. Greetings from Flensburg. Nice. Everybody is here from everywhere across the globe. Even German, even other Germans. That's good. Greetings back, of course. And happy Easter, I guess, to you all. Okay, we have to CC this guy. And then move there. Very good. Very smooth. So this is always the same pattern. So if you never did that before, you always have to do the green one here to get this circle. Then next you have to do the red one to get like another space to be safe. And then the last one will be the blue one. It's just, it's almost RGB, if you can remember that, just the first letters are switched. that's pretty much the summary there. Yeah. Kiel, nice. The North folk. Very good, very good. And yeah, I mean, it's so smooth, but the thing is, like, I have to be honest, I'm not sure if I, as a veteran, would really like, if it's worth it for me to do the weekly quick play, if I do have all the legendary insights that I need already, because you get 6 legendary insights for 10 quick plays. If all of them would be Bone Skinner, that would be effectively like 20 minutes and you get 6 insights. That is pretty good. But if you get like Kaining Overlook, if you get Old Line Squad, those are way longer. So I don't know. I have to be honest. I think it's like, it heavily depends which ones you get, if it's worth it. But if you need legendary insights, I guess it's always worth it. And it's fun, you know. I like to do stuff with the community, even if it's as easy as the quick play here. Not a big deal. But yeah, I'm excited to see how this all develops with the upcoming patches, for sure. Welcome, Sunset. Welcome, welcome. Did you end up buying the infinite primers with magnetites? I actually wanted to do that, and then I thought about it, and because I'm always like I'm by nature someone that is pretty considerate. I always try to think about stuff before I buy it. And one of the things that I considered then was that they announced pretty soon after this reward came out that there will be one for World vs. World. And the World vs. World one is actually way better in my opinion, because the infinite primers that you get from World vs. World and infinite utility primer and food primer is using badges of honor. And badges of honor are so incredibly easy to come by. You need so little amount of playtime to actually get the utility primers like activated after you have them from World vs. World, that it's pretty crazy. Let's provide some alacrity, and then I guess we tank this. No, I wanted to tank the other guy. Okay, it's fine. But yeah, I think if it's like, thanks Snow for tanking here. But I think it's pretty, I would say, safe to say that for raid enjoyers, get the raid one. For World vs. World enjoyers, get the World vs. World one, of course. But I would always recommend you, if you play both game modes, probably the World vs. World one is better, because it's just straight up giving you value for like stuff that you anyway don't really need, like Badges of Honor. Magnetite shards are actually like you can convert into gold. Badges of Honor, barely. So that's why I will go for the World vs. World one. I'm grinding quite a lot of World vs. World because they need a lot, and I mean a lot of tickets. In total, 12,000 tickets. That's a lot of tickets to get them. It's a one-time purchase though, so I will get it in like half a year, but I will be done. I'm also saving my tickets for, however, for the World vs. World Legendary that's coming up. Quite smooth, I like it. Good job everyone so far. Here's the blue one. There we go. Will the new legendary accessory, if it's for open world, be similar materials to the Endless Summer Ring? Just want to prepare efficiently. So, of course, we don't have any information, and I also have to be clear here, I don't have any insider information either. So, even if I had, I would not be able to tell you, of course. So, my guess is here, because that's the best thing I can give you. This releases, the legendary accessory, releases with the legendary, or with the new open world map, yeah? So that means that it's quite likely that it will be bound to the new released open world map. I would be very, very surprised if it would be bound to anything else. Maybe to the other Visions of Eternity open world maps, but because we get only the open world map, no raids, nothing else, I think it's quite likely that this will be the case. So return in squad and exit to the airdrome. That's what we want. So that's my guess. We need the third map quite extensively and probably rather... let's just go indirectly with the next one. People are having loaded. We have someone in the queue. We have to be careful, of course. There we go. So that everyone gets in the maps before I start the quick play again. There we go. But yeah, I think like extensively on the new map, and pretty much like pretty surely that we will need at least a little bit of the new of the first and the second map as well. That are my educated guesses. Do we need stability here? Yeah, no. We can take some more CC. I've recently started looking at tier 4 fractals, and honestly I'm a bit overwhelmed with all the terms in LFG. Stuff like quick DPS, alacrity heal, CM, 99, 100. I really want to get into tier 4s properly. So the good part here is I have a video about that. Yeah. So if you want to check that out, you get all the very common or mostly used abbreviations. And therefore in the video you should learn everything if you watch it. So that's my tip there. But it's kind of confusing jumping in without knowing the basics. Yeah, that is true. That is true. But don't worry, you know, like fractals is something that in my opinion is like, especially if you start with D4, it's not too bad. Like if you get into challenge mode, sure, it takes a bit more effort, but even then it's not too bad. You already have the first correct mindset of I want to improve. That's already one of the best things you can do to try to get better, try to look what it actually means, how to do stuff. Yeah. Definitely my recommended way of playing the game here. So let's get some CC going. It's a bit annoying that this actually needs almost this. I'm pretty sure this needs exactly the same amount. So we just need to CC and CC and CC. So found your power vindicator build for open world, and now I feel like jumping pogo is Stixo is somewhat fun with this build. Yeah, I like to make unique builds, you know, builds that are fun because they have a unique gimmick, and I think one of those is this like one-shotting or like very high damage like power vindicator build, and you just like death drop on enemies. I think that's such a fun concept. Yeah, I am happy that other people liked it as well, so glad you're enjoying it. Yeah. Is Quickblade's own difficulty? Yes, it is. It has its own rewards for the most part. You don't have any like other rewards than you get the same rewards, but you get a little bit less from normal mode raids. So there's that. But the lockout is the same. The bosses, or the lockout is not the same, but the bosses are the same, easier to do, and you have other weeklies, for example, to do. So in general, like if you want to get the maximum rewards, you have to do 10 quick plays and the normal mode as well on top of that. And that's what we are doing right now. Yeah. What's the video called again? I think it's something with lingo. I can check it out after this boss, but I think it's something with like PvE lingo or something explained, or abbreviations. That should find it. Like Guild Wars 2 abbreviations, something like that. I don't sadly know all the titles of my videos on by heart, so that's sadly the thing. But I think this specific video is also listed on my new player section on my website, so you should probably find it there as well. But I have so many videos nowadays that I don't know all of them, sadly, how they are specifically titled. But yeah, I will link it after I'm done with this boss. Should not be that much longer. We're already pretty far. Now my CC is sadly, that's a bit Paragon, like you have to swap in a lot of utility skills to get like very good CC. It's okay, I can stay here on Maze. Looks good, looks good. It's me. It's me. But yeah, I mean, raid quick play difficulty is, you have to imagine, it's like pretty much the same difficulty. It's not like the boss has easier mechanics or anything. It's really just to get a buff that makes you take less damage and get more damage out. So it's really like, quick play is like essentially like an easy mode for raids, with the big, so to say, exception that the easy mode is only easy because you deal more damage and get less damage. It's not making the bosses easier by nature. So if there's a one-shot mechanic, it will still one-shot you in quick play. So if you're want to get into raids, it's the best way to start raids, but don't expect it to be like extremely easy. Yeah. Okay. So now I can check it out. If everyone, I give a bit of time just to make sure that everyone is loading. Yeah, I was correct. I was correct. That's how it's called. Give me a second. That's the link. That's the link to the video. Something with lingo. That's how it was called. Yeah. So quick play and starting. I just linked it in YouTube if you're wondering. If you're on Twitch and you don't know if I linked it on the YouTube channel stream. Okay, I guess we do a new ready check. Nice, we have Bone Skinner. That's already extremely good. That's very fast. Let's check a weekly quick play. We have 3 out of 10. Yeah, going quite nicely. I think, to be honest, the mix would be good of the quick play bosses if they had like at least 2 or 3 actual raid bosses in there. It's just the old strike missions. That's a little bit sad. It would be so good if there would be like a Veil Guardian and maybe Merced Overseer in there. Something like that is easy to actually get done. Then this boss would be good, like, or this like quick play feature. I guess we're going in. There's the alacrity finally. It's not good if I don't get the ready check, then I don't have the setup. It's fine. It's so fast with the DPS buffs here. It's so fast. It's fine, it's good. Provide every boon I can get. We can just tank everything here in this phase. It should be fine. Very good. Are there wings and strikes in quick play? So it's only single bosses, so it's not a full wing. And quick play for raids only includes the old strike missions. So it's not sadly including any like bosses that are considered actual raid bosses, like Veil Guardian and Demos or something like that, which is a bit sad, of course, because I think that it's after all called raid quick play and you don't have the actual raid bosses in there. But I think like at least it has like somewhat like a good selection. I would say not every single one is good, but most of them are like decent enough. Yeah, and you can see this is one of the exceptions here. You get to open those chests. I already did today, but you can actually get the chest here from quick play as well, those Spiora Marches chests, essence chests, that's how they are called. Yeah, so I would say if you want to get into raid strikes, it's a very good way to go and get like the quick play stuff first and just understanding the fights, stuff like that. Welcome Alka, welcome. How you doing today? Just doing some quick play with the community. Not the sub goal yet. So don't stress, you didn't miss any chaos where I'm only allowed to play DPS. So we still, I'm a bit scared. Luckily we are not there yet. So we are just doing nice normal quick play now. Yes, we ask, okay, ready check, okay, worked, very good. It's actually, we didn't have a like repetition yet. We are like almost like almost halfway through, no repetition. Maybe we can actually get no repetition going. That would be nice to see all the bosses in quick play. Very unlikely, but who knows? Who knows? Strikes no longer exist as a word. There are no raid encounters. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm saying always old strike missions, because technically there are no strike missions in the game. That's just something that doesn't exist. Everything is raids now. Raid encounters is what is the actual name of this. So that's why I'm always referring to raids. The normal raids would be like Veil Guardian, Demos, everything that existed before strikes were a thing. And then strike missions being now actual raid encounters as well. So they're all the same thing. But I consider strikes to be a nice differentiation between an actual raid wing and a strike boss like this one here, and therefore I always refer to the old strike missions. Doesn't mean they are necessarily old in the sense they are like 10 years old, but they're at least a little bit of a different design under one umbrella now. Hope that makes sense. Was a little bit complicated explained, but yeah, nowadays it's just like everything is a raid. That's, or at least every 10-player instance is a raid. How's Easter? I mean, so far so good, you know, just enjoying some gaming. Other than that, nothing special. I hope everybody in chat is also having a nice like Easter weekend. And maybe the weather will get better so I can do something outside after the stream, you know. Shocker, but Syrma actually goes outside as well at some point. But right now it's not the best weather for now, so we will see. Maybe I just have to play the whole day. That's how I have to spend my Easter. We will have to see. I mean, what are you doing? You know, what is your typical like Easter like activity? Interesting to hear what the chat does, because apparently you're not watching my stream right now, so can't be that special. Come on, let us attack you. There we go. Yeah, the blade zone is pumping. Blade zone is pumping. I like that. We have a pumping blade zone, not very often. Haven't fixed yet, but we'll fix some small Easter food. Nice, that sounds good. That sounds good. Yeah, good food on Easter. Yeah, makes sense. I mean, technically Easter is tomorrow, I think. I'm not like, oh, can we get this? Gotcha. That was a bit risky. I have to get the cast here while I'm not dodging, but it's fine. We got it. Yeah, I mean, Easter food is like, even in Germany, there's good food, I would say, to Easter. So that's good. What do you plan on doing? Like, interested to see. Of course, you don't need to share if you don't want to, but it would be exciting, you know. I'm always up for like some food like ideas. So let me know. It's a week, not a day. Yeah, fair point, fair point. It's the Easter week. Yeah. But Easter Sunday, I guess, is tomorrow. Okay, let's wait again until everyone loaded. Halfway through, first 3 LI. I mean, it's pretty fast, I have to be honest. It's pretty fast, at least with this group. So I guess it's actually efficiently and worth it. As soon as our amalgam loaded, we can just go in and do the next one. Good question. I was meant to take my motorcycle to the coast, but I broke it down yesterday. Oh my god, that's really bad timing. And I had to push it 3 miles back home. That's crazy. That's 3 miles is not to be scoffed at. I mean, how long do you need if you need to push that? It's like at least like maybe an hour, something like that. That's crazy. Push of shame. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I would say the shame is not the big problem there. It's just sad that the bike broke down. You know, that's the thing. You know, that's the sad part. Like, took about 2 hours. Yeah, that's crazy. You know, I thought like 3 miles. That's probably like at least an hour normal if normal people walk. For most normal people, and then you had to like carry or like push it. That's pretty. That takes a while. Crazy. Quickness. There we go. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, at least you have a nice day, hopefully today. So and you know, don't stress too much. You know, you will get it fixed hopefully, and then you can ride it again, I guess. Just, you know, things that you like to do, there is always something that comes in the way, but you will overcome it. I know I like to play games. There's always something to do in real life, and I will fix it. Oh my god. Do you have a preferred game mode? More of PvP, World vs. World, or PvE enjoyer? I think for me, it's really the beauty of Guild Wars 2 is that there are those many, like 3 game modes mostly. So for me, it's like I play all of them. So for example, earlier on stream, I played PvP. Last week, I played almost exclusively World vs. World on stream. And today, I mostly play PvE. I don't have a preference for the most part. I like to mix it up. You know, if you would lock me into only playing PvP, I would probably quit after 1 week. If you would lock me only in World vs. World, I would probably quit after a week. If you would lock me in like PvE, it would take a bit longer because there's just more, like, a little bit more variety there, I would say. But for even there, if I only would have to play PvE, I would get bored quite fast at some point. Yeah. So this is just, if you're a veteran, at some point you have to decide, okay, what is the game mode that you enjoy the most? Sure, and played it a lot, but I like to switch it up. You know, sometimes I decide to say, okay, today I'm feeling like I want to grind ranked PvP. That's not often the case, but sometimes it is. And then I play that, but I switch it up all the time. So I would say I have no preference. I think PvE is obviously the biggest one, so... No, we have a downstairs. I gotcha. But yeah, so sadly not a good answer there for you, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome, Piggy. Welcome. Hope you all have a nice day and enjoying the stream. As usual, if you have any questions, any comments, let me know. Always happy here to ask and answer, of course. Especially if you're a new player, want to help you out as well. I think we can face tank everything here. This is very low damage output from this guy. Yeah. Yeah, there's almost no damage. Sadly, the attack actually killed 2 people. That's pretty crazy. So this attack was actually doing a lot of damage. Block. Looks good. I mean, it's really fast. That's the complete opposite to the other quick play that we did, which like lasted for I don't know, like half an hour at least. So this is the opposite. This is the opposite for sure. Smooth, very smooth. But yeah, I was mentioning that earlier on stream, but I really hope we get a roadmap. Like the last roadmap we got for Guild Wars 2 was in December. It was like barely a roadmap. It was just listing the things that will happen in February and January. And it was like pretty much we already knew that before they set the roadmap. So I really hope we get a big roadmap, like saying, okay, there will be this release, there will be this World vs. World event, stuff like that. I want to have that. I think this is so like important for a game studio to tell the community what's happening in the next few months. And I think it's actually quite sad that they haven't done that in the last month, because we don't know what's going on in April. We don't know what's going on in May and after that. So I really hope we get some update there. I think that's always one of the nice things in Guild Wars 2, if they do those roadmaps, is that we know what's going on, what will happen. So let's see if this will... It actually doesn't even kill it. That's crazy. Yeah, so I hope we get that. But maybe I'm a bit too much on cope there. Maybe they have other plans and they will never tell us in advance anymore. Who knows? Do you mean Scepter Dagger Evoker or Sword Dagger? Because S can stand for Scepter or Sword. So do you mean Sword? Then Sword Dagger, I don't have a specific Sword Dagger Evoker build. But if you're talking about Scepter Dagger Evoker, yes, you can play, like, there are so many Scepter Dagger Evokers. Like, you can play in PvE a power version, you can play a Condi version. It's really, like, it's one of the most flexible ones. I have build guides on all of them. You can find them on my website. And even in PvP, you can play that. It's in roaming as well. It's really, like, Scepter Dagger is, like, one of the best combinations for Elementalist. Yeah, but if you're talking about Sword, sadly, this is something that I would say is not as common. Scepter is just typically better. Does that still go through? No, it did it. Okay. Very nice. I would say you can't just play my Scepter Dagger Evokers builds and go for a Sword Evoker and just exchange the Scepter. Yes, you will lose some damage. Yes, you will have to go, instead of ranged, you can have to go melee, but it's also possible. It's not, I don't mention it specifically because it's just straight up, in my opinion, worse than Scepter. Scepter is just broken, but you can play it, and that's what I would recommend you. Do you think they know what's going on? I think they do. I think they know what's going on. I think we just don't know. I think they will tell us at some point, and I think they're just scared for the backlash that might happen if they tell us now, because they might know what's going on in the next 3 months, but they are a bit scared to share this information right now. I think that's the thing. I guess we're going in. This is the first repetition that we have, so not bad. We got like six quick plays without any repetitions. I take that. Yeah, Scepter on Elementalist, I agree with you. Scepter on Elementalist is not like the most fun weapon by design. I like Sword more by design. I even like Dagger more than by design. But it's just Scepter is so broken. It scales with power, it scales with condition damage, and it is like range. It's like, what? It's like so overloaded. They have to nerf Scepter to make the other weapons actually like competitive to this weapon. That's why it's so hard to recommend anything else than Scepter, because it's a core option, everyone has access to it, and it is like really strong. So it's like, okay, I don't need any like excuses to take Scepter. It's just always the best option. Yeah. Have you ever gone bald before? I haven't. This is why it's a sub goal. You know, some people, I would say some people were civilized, but a lot of people in the YouTube comments and stuff like that were saying, oh my god, you look like a hippie, you look really like, your hair is really bad, and you should get bald. And that said, a lot of people said that, you know, under my YouTube comments and stuff like that. So I thought like, okay, I mean, maybe listen to the community, you know, maybe they know more. And if the sub goal will go through, I will like do that, you know. I have never done that. Maybe it looks horrible. I mean, that's your fault then. You know, you have to look at me. Maybe I will do faceless stream then, because I'm so ashamed of my looks. No, I'm joking. I mean, if it happens, if the sub goal goes through, then I will do it. Yeah, and hopefully that looks not too abysmal. Yes. So we will have to see. You will have to see. It's so chill to play healer in quick play. I'm reading more chat than I'm doing anything else, and it's like the group is still getting the damage out and stuff. It's really chill. Really chill. Get a baseball cap? Problem solved. Pretty much like a good idea, yeah. I will pretty much like guaranteed do that if it looks bad. But I have to prove it, of course, on stream if I get it. So I will probably uncap myself, so to say. But I will, if it looks bad, I will just use some kind of hat. Yeah, you know, maybe a fancy, like, how is it called, like the melon or something, is it called in English? You know, some really fancy hat to hide, or just using a regular baseball cap could also be fine. Clean shave bald. Yeah, I mean, I will probably like 1 millimeter or something like that. So it will not be like completely bald, because I just want to have a little bit like it does it. Obviously, it's a bit sad if you're young and you have hair to go for completely bald, because that might happen anyway at some point in the future. So I think like 1 millimeter is probably like a reasonable length then. And it will grow back rather fast, I would guess. Yeah. So yeah. Can we see some heal berserker? I guess we can see that, yeah, but not in this quick play session though, because we have already full sorted roles. But heal berserker, to be honest, like I made a guide about heal berserker like a couple of months ago, and it looks exactly the same. I'm using the same gear, I'm using the same like build setup. I'm just exchanging the lead spec. That's it. It's like I'm, instead of those 3 buttons, I get 2 buttons, and it plays exactly the same. So imagine those buttons gone here and a different F1 or F2 skill, and that's it. So quickness heal berserker is like pretty like it looks very, very similar. Yeah. Just have one free slot, and I'm really between a Mesmer and a Warrior, being my second character. I don't know what to do. I think Warrior is very unique, not very interesting for flashiness, but very fun to play nonetheless. I think Mesmer is more flexible though. So if you like flexibility, I think going for Mesmer is good. And don't worry, you know, you can start with one character and play that one. And if you don't like it, or if you like it and you want to play something else later, just get another character slot. That's how I got my 70. Obviously choking a bit, but that's the typical like Guild Wars 2 experience. Yeah. What if it doesn't grow back? I mean, that would be surprising to say the least. But I mean, I stand to my word, you know. If the sub goal goes through, I will do it. I even if it like then doesn't grow back, then I'm sad, very sad. But that's how it goes, yeah. My hair's fine, but sometimes I do get bald cut during middle of the year because it's too humid for long hair. Yeah, that is understandable. If it's too warm, I can definitely understand it. Yeah, or too humid at least. Yeah, if it's unpleasant. Yeah. So I get to see this time. Nice. I was aware this time, not sleeping. Get a face hat? Yes, from Morocco or something. Yes. That could also be good, you know, some really fancy hat. Yeah, who knows? Maybe every stream I get a different hat, you know, just for the memes. Would be a bit of an expensive thing if I get to the expensive hats, I guess. But because I don't own that many hats, I have to be honest. But maybe, you know, who knows? Maybe that's what you want to see. It's kind of a cruel to do such an organized run now, spoiling you, and then it's going through the LFG hell. I mean, I'm all there for the content, you know. Such a smooth, organized run into the crazy opposite. Yeah, I mean, that's what I deserve apparently, you know. It's cruel, but it's fun for you to watch, I guess. Troubadour is fun to play, yes. Troubadour, I was a bit like, in the beginning, Troubadour I was not the biggest fan of when it came out. But over the course of like the last few months, it grew on me. I think Troubadour, maybe because it's so good, but I think it's also really like, oh my god, am I locked out? No, okay. It's a good thing. It's a good class, good specs for supporting specifically. My problem is leveling, man. I really hate leveling characters. I think the best tip that I can give you it is that you should try to play some PvP and World vs. World, because there you get like insane amount of Tomes of Knowledge. Like those items you can use to level up your characters. And I'm not joking, insane amounts. You know, I played a bit of World vs. World, a bit of PvP, and you level your character to level 80 in no time. So the leveling process is then not a big deal. Of course, if you only play PvE, Tomes of Knowledge are not as easy to get, but there are ways there as well. And if you can wait for your birthdays, so character birthdays, or like, yeah, give you also the, how are they called, like experience scrolls or something. So scrolls that can level your character after a couple of years, or like 2 years or something. It's like, I think, level 20 your character. Then after a little bit later in the progression, you get like to level 30, 40, 50, and I think the biggest one is 60, I think. So you get like efficiently 60 levels, like just for free, essentially, if you level your, or if you get your character's birthday. Of course, this is not something that you can force. It's not something that you will get instantly, but if you are a veteran, you will get that over the course of time, so you can level your character essentially for free. So it's really like generous in that regard. Yeah. Bald ain't too bad, brother. I mean, I think so too. I never had it. That's why I'm a bit scared of it. But I think, you know, you have to try it, you know? You have to try that stuff. Maybe it looks awesome. Who knows? Yeah. I have the beard for it. Yeah, I mean, I think like a beard with a bald like head is actually looking quite decent. You know, I'm not a fashion guy, as you could imagine, playing Guild Wars 2 with the same fashion all the time. But I think with a beard, with a nicely shaved beard, looks pretty promising. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, of course, if your account is new, then you don't have the birthday yet. Just saying, for the people that watch this and want to level their characters, you get birthday things as well, and they are really like making it even easier to level all characters. Yeah. But if you play PvP and World vs. World, you can get like those Tomes of Knowledge extremely easily as well. Yeah. Well, you can buy a level 80 boost. If you get an expansion, you get them for free anyway. I have like stacked 2 of them anyway, and then you level to level 80 with those anyway. That's a good point as well. But chat, sure thing, yeah. Are rewards for quick play rates worth it? I would say if you do it like we do here quite efficiently and like just 10 for the day, for the weekly rather, then I think it's worth it, yeah. Especially if you want to get legendary armor, if you want to get like the raid god title or something where you need magnetite shards, where you need legendary insights, stuff like that. They are worth it. Not necessarily for the gold, but for just the rewards for legendaries and stuff like that, account bound rewards. Yes, I would say they are worth it. However, for like just pugging them, so like just pressing the quick play button in a solo group and don't know what to expect, I think it's not worth it. It's really not. It's for a returning player, I would say it's like, depends how you do it. For a new player, get into them, getting some experience in quick play or in raids in general is really good. For a veteran, I would say it's typically if you have like legendary armor and stuff like that and the legendary insights are not really important to you, then yeah, pretty easy to skip, because it's after all, it's still time and it doesn't give that much gold because you don't get the regular gold rewards from them. But you get the magnetite shards and they can be converted into gold. Yeah. Never did PvP. I will try to see if it's faster. I mean, you should not play PvP if you don't like it. But if you are willing to try and see how it goes, I think PvP is not bad, especially if you just want to have fun and don't care too much about winning or losing. You know, some people are really into rating and like getting like insane win rates and stuff like that. Then I think PvP can become very frustrating very fast. But if you just play for fun and the Tomes of Knowledge that you get anyway, either it doesn't matter if you win or lose, it's a good thing. Yeah. One more. Yeah. What's the best item to buy with the cat coffee coins? I have no clue. I think like the best one to get is probably the drink. How is it called? This one like cat drink, cat tonic that gives you plus 20 experience. This is actually really valuable. That's the one I would buy. Yeah. Are Loris good for anything? You can purchase some ascended gear with it and you can convert them to gold. Those are the 2 main ways that I would use Loris. Or maybe get infusions. Like you can get infusions for them. Like the infusions that you slot into your character. World vs. World infusions, for example. They don't have a specific look, but they give you a little bit of a stat boost. A very, very small stat boost. Yeah. World vs. World is better to get into as a new player than PvP if you want Tomes of Knowledge, because they are really easy. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually crazy why we don't get the bears. The bears would be so fast. That's okay. So think about it during the day when you don't game or sleep, because that's how deep hate goes. That's crazy, yeah. That's crazy. I have to be honest, like, can we move this? No. Okay. That's good. That's really cool. Quick play in a nutshell. Quick play in a nutshell. Because I was the commander and I locked the subgroups, I cannot unlock the subgroups anymore. And now we have like a person that might get boons and might get healing or might not get. Okay. Bald God. You know, that's who I will become. Maybe. That's good. Good name, good name. Yeah. What's your opinion on the price of Commander Tech? I'm torn. I'm torn about this one. Because I think Commander Tech should be somewhat like, has a price tag, in my opinion. Commander Tech should have a price tag, because otherwise everyone that has no clue about the game, just started playing, could get it. Yeah. So I think having a bit of a price tag makes it so that new players think like 3 times if you want to get it. Does it need to be like 300 gold? Like even 100 gold is already expensive. So does it need to be that high? Or is that something that like can be lower? I don't know. It's challenging. I think like there is the mentor tag already and everybody can get that from like mastery. Tier mastery. So I'm not completely 100% convinced what is the best thing to do there. I think there are like arguments for both sides. I think 300 is definitely too much though. I think that's like, nowadays that's like a quarter of a legendary. it's pretty hefty. So I have to be honest, I think it could be lower for sure. Yeah. But I think having a price tag in general is probably a good thing. Yeah, I think not having any price tag would be bad, but if it's like 300 gold, I think it's worth it, even at 300 gold. But I'm not sure if like that is too much nowadays in the economy. If you look at how much Generation 1 Legendary is like devalued, and then you have a price tag for a commander tag that is still like so high. I don't know. Interesting. I think everyone who needs to use the tag are willing to pay for that price. Yeah, that's why it's there, I would say, because you need to have some investment in the game, some knowledge that you gather over time, and players that don't have 300 gold to spend for it, they are probably not as experienced yet. That's just my argument there as well. But I'm not sure if it's like needs to be 300. Yeah. There are quite a few players who got the commander tag who still don't deserve it. I mean, what does deserve even mean? I think that is like a little bit of a... I wouldn't use that word. I would say like 300 gold, you can like swipe your credit card if you want and get it, you know? That's just how Guild Wars 2 gold works. I think deserving is probably not the correct name for it, but I get what you mean. You mean that they should not use it or don't know how to use it correctly. I guess that's what you mean. I think that is a fair point. But you can never avoid it, really. You would have to do some kind of skill check or knowledge check, and it's obviously way too far-fetched. That will not happen. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit annoying that you cannot get the markers or stuff like that. At least in quick play, everyone is a commander, so you can use it there. But I guess that's a good point, that commander tech has a lot of advantages that you will be locked out if you don't have it. But on the other side, you also need to have the knowledge to use it. You know, it's not something just because you have access to it doesn't make it like perfectly, like you use it perfectly already. Yeah, there are like always like pro and cons for that. I'm not sure how to make that perfectly like fine and fixed and balanced. As usual, balanced discussions are always like they have always multiple facets. Yeah. They use their commander tag in order to take advantage of people who will follow the tag. I mean, this will always happen. Like, oh my god, we lost someone. Who dodged over the railing there? It looks quite impressive. Yeah. Yeah. To be honest, I don't know if I start a new character right now, if I want to see if the next patch of the nerfs make Mesmer or Warrior more viable or less viable. I would say don't stress too much about the patch, especially if you're a new player, but even if you're like not like even a veteran player, I think you should not stress too much about the next patch. Of course it's a patch that affects a little bit of the meta, sure, but in most cases, we got those. That's what we got, the banners. But yeah. I would say for most players, you will not notice a big difference. And especially if you're a new player, like you should not care. Like there are 4 elite specs for every single class. So if you start Warrior, and even if 2 of them will get nerfed, which is not the case, even then you will have 2 others to play. And for Mesmer, it's even better because Mesmer is so flexible. So it's like, don't stress, really. The next patch is like for the high-end players mostly. It's not for the casual players. Or for the new players. This will not affect you in any major way. I really have to stress that. Yeah. Just because it doesn't mean everyone will follow and listen to you, you need the knowledge of the game too. Exactly. Knowledge is like, people underestimate how important knowledge is. You know, I don't like to do commanding of certain raids or certain bosses because I am just not. Oh my god, that was a nasty one. That would be such a nice banner. But sadly, I don't get the. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Got the banner here. Very good. Come. There we go. We got it. And in the end, we died. But that's it. That's it. We got like the other things perfectly smooth. I like it. That's good. Crazy save. I mean, this is just quick play. It's not too scary. very good. Thanks everyone. Was nice, smooth run. Like it, like it, like it. Yeah. And within days of the patch, so many builds will get the tweaks needed to smooth out any kings of the patch. I would say, hopefully, they would do that even before then. Like in a real world, they would address the issues that you might have before the patch actually drops. That would be in a perfect world they would do that. I think ArenaNet is a little bit like slower there, but I think it's like they can do it. Like, yeah. Either way, I think it's like they will be the patch will be good or decent enough. Yeah, I would be very, very surprised if it isn't. But yeah. Yeah, sure. Always like happy to do some stuff with the community. So yeah. Glad you could join, Reva, don't worry. And thank you all for joining, it was nice. The dodge of the edge saved us. We had 3 circles stacked. Nice, good job. I mean, I didn't see the circles because I was not like caring too much about the circles, but I just saw the jump dodge over the railing. So I thought like, oh, that was impressive. Nice movement there. Looked like a roaming montage, you know, so like old school roaming, jump dodging and like making styling on the enemies. So I liked it. 5 head, exactly. It was like pretty nice. Good work then. So what do we have? Deep Construct, Kinding Overlook again. Okay, we do that like for the 3rd time, I guess. Let's see if we get some dailies. I don't want to command the dailies, I just want to chill. Maybe someone does some dailies here. But yeah, as usual, if you have any comments, any questions, just ask. We're always happy to talk about it here on stream as well. That was fun though. I really enjoyed the quick play, like very smooth, nice run. Getting, how much do we get actually? 8 boxes? And what is in there actually? Just some, oh, almost nothing. But I got an ascended weapon. So you see, you can play quick play and get an ascended weapon. Of course, I don't need it anymore, but this is not bad, I guess. Like playing quick play and getting ascended weapon. Of course, it's a random one, so Warhorn, okay. I guess probably not as useful for most classes, but better than nothing, I guess. Better than nothing. You know, I saved those. Who knows? Sometime in the future, we might need ascended weapons for something, so better save them. But yeah, okay. What do we need? We need... I don't want to do Dooms though. Kern, Kinding. Okay. We will find something, hopefully. That's always what we talked about earlier. No, it's not like midday on EU, and we have a lot of like groups here listed. So Raid LFG is pretty active. I know it's weekend, but it's pretty active for sure. Was really smooth. The things that happened when people press their buttons. Who would have guessed? Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's like I also have to be honest. It was pretty. Okay, let's play tank. Let's play tank. 1 second. So yeah, I mean, I think the most important part for me was that the queuing worked. You know, I really hate it when the queuing doesn't work well. So for example, I don't like it if I queue up and then someone spawns dead, someone gets kicked or whatever. So I was really happy that worked very well, even as a full 10-person group. So there's that. So what do I play? We need stability here. Do we need something else? Maybe some CC. Do we need CC? I guess we'll need a bit CC. Do I have the toughness? Always checking the boon. Do I have alacrity? Yes, I do. Do I have the toughness? I have good toughness. Should be fine. Should be fine. Yeah. Talking about dodging. What is that? I have to watch that later. Yeah, the queue expanding the squad to 50 is also it's like this is so like the quick play. Whoever programmed it, it works now, but it has so many band-aids and so many weird things in there. It's crazy. I don't want to judge. I don't know how difficult it is, but it's so crazy. Like that you lose the commander tag if you already have it. So the locked subgroups are not possible to be changed even if you're out of combat anymore. that you go into 50 like squats. That what is this? Like, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane. Yeah. Yeah. What I really dislike about the public queuing is that you get so often like people leaving and you spawning in dead after you join late, or you have like people like seeing KO and instantly leaving, and you just have you never form the group, so you have to either decide, do I get like to low man it if people want to do that, or do we have to leave as well and get the debuff? I think that's just, the system is a bit like skewed in that regard, but I don't know how to fix it either. So that will be the scary part about if I do that with the high DPS quick play version. But yeah, just how it goes. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing good. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? So, what are we waiting for here? Everyone here? I think so. We can start, come on. So. Okay, nice. We are ready, I guess. Tanking KC, one of the scariest fights in existence to tank. I'm joking. This is like, you could tank it with 5 toughness and no one would care, to be honest. It's like, it's really not hard. It is really easy. Hopefully we have the challenge mode on. Okay, I mean... So... Okay, we are ready. That's good, that's good. Nice. There we go. Where is it? Yeah, the old heal chrono, you know, old heal chrono. So nice. Where's the thing lighting up? There we go. It's way slower than the quick play. I have to say that. It's not as fast, but it's okay. I have to get this thing here. Get ready for it. CC is happening. I mean, I should not spread here, but I was a bit scared of my group wiping there because no one was spreading. So tank should not move, but it's fine. We did it. Staying there. The red is pumping? It is. It is. Yeah, I mean, it's what is it? It's like a... It's an unload, yeah. Unload antiquary. You know, that's what you like to see. That's... Where's the quickness? Where's the quickness? There it is. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You see how how unimportant it is to play a meta build. You can just play builds that are actually like considered low intensity, easy to play, and just like press your buttons. You know, you will still be top DPS in like normal groups. I mean, I don't even know how many. If this is a KP group, I just joined because I wanted to do some raids. But yeah. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, full unload Deadeye. Okay, it uses some artifacts as well, but still, you know, there is mostly unload. I mean, it's probably the build that I made a video about, like just spamming the unload button. Classic low intensity Deadeye. So where's the thing spawning? Can't go into continuum shift here. I guess we do go there. Oh, it's me. That's mean. Why does it fixate me? It's very mean, but it's fine. We killed it very fast. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Come here before you kill it. There we go. CC it, I guess. Before the attack spawns. There we go. Good job. Good job. Nice. I mean, smooth run, but I'm always surprised how easy KC is. I think like KC is like normal, or to be honest, challenge mode as well is so easy that if you compare that to Keller or Wing 8's normal modes, it's actually quite like offending how like the differences are. It's pretty. I'm so. They should not be considered normal modes or something. This should be considered an easy mode or something like that. I think it's so like misleading that you have like normal modes being so different in terms of difficulty. This is so, I don't know. I think for new players that's a big problem. You know, you go into raids and you think, yeah, normal mode. I start with normal mode, and then you have some boss like this, but you also have bosses like Keller or Wing 8, let's say Greer normal mode. And they are so much more difficult, and new players just don't know that this is just such a big difficulty spread. This is pretty, like, not welcoming, I would say. Some barrier here. That's the thing most people need to realize. There's no shame in playing ally builds. Yeah, not at all. You know, you should play what you like, and especially ally builds in, like, more dangerous situations. They are performing way better than a lot of people think. Because it's just like you have the safety of being like really like easy to perform in harder fights as well. If you play like a Blade Zone in the fights that are getting really messy, why is it doing its attack there? Come on. I mean, that was scuffed, but okay. We have. I guess we have to do the mechanic now. I mean. If you kill the things... okay, I mean, people don't know how to do it. It's fine, it's fine. There's the next one spawning. I mean, we can just brute force it, I guess. I guess we will skip the CC phase. It doesn't matter. It's like power creep in a nutshell. Ignoring all the mechanics, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Even in challenge mode, like, who cares about CCing? Who cares about fixation mechanics? Who cares? What was it now? Like, was it something else? I always have to check. Yeah, okay. Oh, we're doing Kining Overlook as well. That's good. That's good. I was in a Pack KC earlier. One guy mentioned people GG. Then when it starts merging. Okay. Is that how it works? Or how it can work? I have no clue. You know, for me it's like always like I played quick play when it came out and I never do it like after that again. It's just like for me it's a good thing and fun for new players, but it's not something that I have all the experience to know how to circumvent all the bugs and stuff like that. So yeah, that's just I guess I take that one. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, you see way too many people trying to do 40-step rotations, which also learning the process on the bosses on the fly. Yeah, I think like for me, I always try to preach that on my streams and stuff, that you should learn your build to a certain extent before you go into harder fights where you need to learn the mechanics as well. So if you have problems getting your build done first, then starting with a low intensity builds is always easy because it's just so safe. And I really like emphasize that even low effort builds are better than starting with a full-fledged build that is like having 40 steps rotations. You know, I have a low effort Weaver build that is not low intensity by definition because you have to press more buttons than 2 or 3 buttons, but it is less effort than playing a 40-step rotation. It's way less effort. So even that is better to start with than starting with the full-fledged meta build, which you might not even know the full rotation. So yeah, that's a good tip here for sure. This is your second account, that the one you started 6 months ago? No, this is not the one. I'm playing on my main account. I played on my second account a while back, of course, but I have not played it. That was a bit greedy, but okay. Didn't want to get my continuum shift through, so that's why I casted it. But yeah, I will maybe, depending on how much like content is coming with the next update, I will go back to the Zero to Hero account at some point and go for more legendaries, go for just some achievements, raids, whatever, yeah. But right now I'm playing on my main account And that will not change in the foreseeable future because there will be a patch coming up next month and I will play that. Oh my god, how did that hit me? What is that hitbox of that thing? Yeah, no, you know, you see, don't have to be in quick play. It was definitely a bonk situation here. Crazy slash, definitely crazy, yeah. When I first went into raids, I made Staff Daredevil, just dodge and Staff 2 spam while learning mechanics. Yeah, that's a good one, for example. That is definitely a good one. Not just easy builds. You don't need to have full low intensity builds that only press one button, but easy builds. This is always good. You know, starting with like a, I don't know, what is one of the difficult builds? Like right now, one of the most difficult builds you can play is Quickness Condition Scrapper. It's one of the most difficult builds, and you would never start with that one if you want to learn like Doom CM. That's just like no one would like do that. But it goes even for like easier fights. You should start the fight on classes that are easy or builds that are easy or maybe just builds that you understand well. That's also something, you know. People coming to me and asking for the most like easy to access build, that doesn't not necessarily mean you should play it, because maybe you're already having a class that you understand decently well, then it's better to stick with that one. I would not recommend to always say, oh, I have to play the easy class, even if it's not the class that I enjoy or that I play all the time. Yeah, that's what I want to give you here, as well as some advice. Okay, so good. Looks good so far. Thank you for that series. It really helped me as a new player. Nice, yeah. Glad to help. I mean, obviously, if I do a second like season of that, it will be a little bit different. It will be focused more on endgame content because I did already level my character. I did already get my first legendary, so it will not be the same. I will not do it on a third account, if you know what I mean. But it is definitely like really nice to hear that you enjoyed it. It was a nice journey. It was definitely something unique. And it was fun to play. A good queuing of my blocks there. When I actually ran some raid trainings for Heart of Thorns raids a few years ago, I basically forced people to play low intensity builds. I mean, that's understandable. I mean, I would say forcing is probably a bit like drastic. You know, if some people might already know the build, you know, if you have a Bladestone that actually reaches the benchmark, you should probably not force him to play like an unload Deadeye. But I get your point, for sure. So that you can focus on the mechanics, yeah. For sure. In the start of the new wing, someone got chosen at random to explain the mechanics if they could. Oh, so real testing, like in school. Okay, I see. I mean, why not, you know? I obviously don't want to do that on stream, though. I don't want to, like, scare people. That's a bit mean. But if you're just doing it in a Discord channel or something, I guess it makes sense to do stuff like that. Okay, got it. Going to mech now. So let's see if our commander gets one shot here by the thing. I don't have a resurrection skill, sadly. That's a bit nice. The commander did get one shot, but we can res him. That's fine. Ooh, the laser. This is one of the weirdest telegraphed attacks in the entire game. It has such a big hitbox, and it doesn't look like it on the telegraphing the laser of the golem. It's crazy. It's really annoying, to be honest. If you're a new player, you see that, you think, I'm outside, and then you still get hit and like almost one shot. it's pretty interesting. Yeah. So if you it's like the commander just wrote, I never had this mechanic. So if you get targeted by the sniper here, the actual mechanic is, as far as I know, never anyone did that, I think. But you have to go up and CC the sniper to not get hit by this attack. But no one does that. So you just want to like either tank it with like specific attacks or dodging or stuff like that. Then you don't get hit, or you just go down stat because it's not as punishing, and then you get resurrected. You just shouldn't stand on top of the whole stack, because then everyone will get one shot. So it's an AoE attack. Therefore, better move out of the group, and if you are comfortable, you can also dodge it or stuff like that. But you can also like negate it with attacks, of course. It's a little bit sad. I think I like the mechanic of you having to use the zip lines to move up. I think that's a cool idea. But it's just like you can so easily negate it anyways that it doesn't really matter. Here we go. They were all new. I mean, then it makes sense. Then it makes a lot of sense, of course. So, almost done. How many times did I do it now? Like, this, ooh, that was an interesting dodge. That was like the 3rd time now that we did KO today. I think that was enough of KO today. It's not the most exciting fight to start with. I strongly disagree. 90% of people starting with low effort builds just keep using them because becoming bots without any additional improvements of their own build and gameplay. Really? You think so? I mean, it's an opinion to have for sure. But I have to be honest, like for me, like I always had the mindset of I start with something and I always try to improve. If I learn something to its fullest, then either I learn something new or I switch to something completely different and start over again. It's really like I don't say I'm done with it and I never do it again. It's like, yeah, it's just. I guess we can do a wing 4. I will do the tank. I'm the tank. That's what we're gonna do. What's that bar with the strips next to glances and CC? So this is like here. This bar is like strips, glances, CC is from arc DPS, and this, if you are asking for this specifically, this is my metrics window. I'm not sure if that's what you mean. The bar. I guess that's what you mean. But this is my, so to say, frames, my ping, and the response time. So the server. Sometimes it's not your ping that's the fault, sometimes it's the response time. The strips. The strips means it's how many condi boon removals you had. So some bosses or some mobs have boons, like you have quickness or something, and you can remove that, and then I have this like counted here, this counter. That's it. Yeah. Yes, I'm from EU. I'm from Germany. That is correct, Noisy. That is correct. The Untamed had 1 and all the others 0. Yeah, the boon strips on certain bosses is like non-existent, but then you have some bosses where boon strip is really important, or specifically in fractals, stuff like that, where you have NPCs consistently applying protection, resolution, stuff like this is really annoying because it decreases your damage. So boon stripping is really important to actually deal a lot of damage. That's why I have it here. And of course, if you're playing World versus World, this becomes way more interesting because there you actually want to see as well how many boon strips your squad had and stuff like that. So yes, this is definitely something that is important. Of course, not for the average casual open world content or stuff like that, but for PvE in some instances, definitely worth it. I'm a new player. Can I get a guild invite? Sure. Let me know your account name and I can invite you, of course. Did I see you at Truckhouse some 3 hours ago? To Raybot. Yes, maybe. Who knows? Not me. I was not doing Trucker back then. So, what do we get here? Nice, Kingado. Isn't that a PvP player? So, what do we play? Do we play tank? What do we want? Like tank Chronomancer, or do we want to play like some tank Troubadour? Both are fine. I think like because of Well of Recognition for demos. I mean, we are not playing CM, so I guess it doesn't matter. But yeah, I think Chronomancer is probably better for tanking in Wing 4 specifically. I guess. So, yes, I can invite you, of course. Give me a second. Of course. There we go. Welcome to the guild. So, let's see what we get here. I mean, Cairn is so easy. Mustard Overseer normal mode is really easy. Like Summerrock is really easy. It's just demos that I'm a bit worried with pucks sometimes because, like, you know, there's always some Oilers, you know, if you know what I mean. They're touching the black is their hobby, so you never know. Better I'm a bit scared of this boss sometimes in pugging, but nowadays with the power creep, with like people getting to know, it's actually not too bad, hopefully. Because it has been out at this point for like, when came Wing 4 out? It's probably like Wing 4 came out like 2018, probably 2017, 2018, something like this. I can't remember, of course, but something around this. So it's like at least like 7 years, maybe longer even. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Oil do be expensive nowadays, so they collect all they can. That's a good point. Yeah, that's true. Oil is expensive today. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. But I mean, in Guild Wars 2, sadly, you cannot use it. Yeah, it's like, sadly not. Do we have everything already? Mm-hmm. I guess we. Yeah, Alka is in every stream. Like, Alka is in every Guild Wars stream. You know, whenever I watch any other Guild Wars 2 streamer, Alka is there as well. It's like, you know, he's the positive guy in every, like, in every stream. So I am always happy to have him here. So appreciate it. Yeah. I think the Guild Wars 2 community, especially like the social, like, community and Twitch streams and YouTube streams and stuff, there are actually a lot of like nice like people around. It's really like, it's not as big as it could be. The game is way bigger than what it seems to be on like social media, but the people that are actually in like those streams and like sometimes the YouTube comments as well, they are actually quite nice, especially the streams. We have a lot of like nice people, community feeling here. It's really like, I liked it. Yeah, and Alka is one of the reasons, yeah, for sure. Lurking in 3 channels at the moment? Exactly, yeah, that's how you do it. So multi-streaming, but like the other way around, multi-receiving, yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah. Right, what do we want? So let's please start. That's the only sad thing about raids, is like for me that it always takes a while to set up. But luckily this time it wasn't me that needs to set it up. but still it takes a while until we get all the people, until we like sort the subgroups and stuff. It's a bit annoying. I think that's one of the beauties of like just like queuing up, going in, having action, going next. I think that's for raids, it's okay. For some like certain raid bosses like Kadim 1, Kadim 2, this can be even more annoying because you have so many sub roles that you need to do. But for like Wing 4, it's okay. It's like 2 sub roles, I guess. I guess like that dude in Minority Report controlling 4 monitors at the same time. Yeah, exactly. At least 4 monitors, you know? It's like he's casually watching 3 streams right now. Yeah. Yeah, see you, Arthur. See you. So switching to quickness apparently. There we go. Min-max viewership? Yeah, exactly. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. I typically like to play quickness heal for most of the parts then, because quickness heal is actually quite nice in some situations, because you can swap between Chronomancer and Troubadour on the fly. That's one of the beauties of like having 2 specs that can do that, because I think, for example, here on the first fight here, Troubadour is better. That's why I swapped to Troubadour now. It's probably not like a big difference, but it's in my opinion definitely it's better. Should I use Distortion here? I could soak something. But you have more stability access, so you can ignore more of the mechanics here. And on top of that, it's like, I think Troubadour as a raw healing output is also higher. So that's why if you have quickness, play Troubadour. If you don't need as much, like, for example, CC or if you don't need as much like H's. And if you need H's, like I will do, for example, on demos, then I will switch to Chronomancer. And the cool part is I don't have to like change my subgroups composition. That's good. Still the only percentage of player base that does high-level content, which is of course not possible with low-intensity builds. I don't know, I haven't followed all of your discussion there, but I think like low-intensity builds have their reason to exist. I know maybe you don't like agree with me there, but I know for a fact that watching my YouTube comments, especially under like my tier lists and stuff like that, there are so many people that write me, I just can physically not press more buttons than, let's say, 3 or so. So they really want to still enjoy and play the game. And for those people, low intensity builds are awesome. I don't want to generalize and say this is all the Guild Wars 2 community. That's obviously wrong. But I think it's nice that those builds exist. I'm so happy that those exist. And I'm really happy to make content about them as well to make them more popular. So yeah, definitely good thing. Oh, we have a good food here as well. Take that. So let's have some fun here with Kern. Was a bit. Oh god. So wanted to dodge this, but it's fine. It's fine. I mistimed my quickness by like a millisecond there. I wanted to like the weird part is it strips you on like combat entering, so I wanted to time the quickness here very well, but okay, I mean, who cares? Chronomancer and especially like Troubadour have insane amount of quickness output anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And heal here. My ally is surprisingly low here. I don't know where they took all the damage. I guess some red, some agony, I guess. I mean, I could take some reds if I wanted to, but we already have so many covered. Let's have some healer on squad as well. But yeah, and our dude who legit doesn't have a hand. Yeah, I mean, then those people, you know, if they still want to play the game, which is in my opinion like completely fair, then are we doing CM? No, why are they just running all away? Interesting. I reigned in my crap like 20% because you never know if someone legit can't do something. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't judge, especially DPS numbers. You know, if someone is playing a DPS build and does at least a little bit of DPS, who cares? You know, who cares? I mean, I guess we can take the screen. Yeah, I mean, this is not like insane DPS from the squad, but it's okay. It's okay. It's fine, it's just normal mode wing 4. So that looks good, we did it. Not clean, but we did it. Very nice. Oh, it's also nice, it's also the double gold day. That's a good day to actually get some raids going on this one. I like it. Ally builds, the only thing that matters is whether the content is cleared in an effective and maybe even efficient manner. The rest is basically unimportant. I agree. I think I think the biggest thing that you missed here is that it's fun. You know, it should be fun for everybody. So I think that's the biggest thing. But other than that, I would agree with you for sure. Oh my god, our commander didn't switch. That's why we did not have enough quickness or like uptime, because the commander forget to switch. I know the problem. I know the problem. But I don't know what we need here. Nothing. It doesn't really matter. Didn't you play with the PP unload antiquary that had top DPS in last pack? Yeah, that was also true. That was also true. No, already at the shovel. I like wanted to place a portal, but then I read chat and already went like completely like unhinged towards the shovel, like without looking. Yeah, that might be true. Yeah, like you can play low intensity builds. I think it was a low intensity antiquary. I'm pretty sure about it because unload was top DPS. So yeah, I definitely definitely possible. Like people like sweat, especially in like chaotic fights, people sweat way too much about playing actual meta builds. You know, playing a low intensity builds will probably yield the same or sometimes even better results. Sure. I claim. Maybe should you play Chronomancer here? That's like the next level tactic. I think you play Chronomancer for the improved alacrity. Ooh, yes, I think that's what you do for like spamming the claim a little bit more often. I think that's what you do. Yes. Fun. It's not a hot take. Yeah, I mean, I made a video like a couple of months ago, maybe a year ago. I don't even remember anymore. And it was about that I think fun is more important than balance. Yeah. And this was I would say a little bit of a like not harsh take, but it was a take that was like somewhat like not completely like everybody agreed with this. But I think personally, if like the game is not perfectly balanced, especially in competitive modes, but also in PvE, I think it's okay if it is the case if everybody has fun. You don't need to have perfectly balanced game where every single DPS build does exactly the same amount of DPS, or at least it's balanced in a way that makes sense. But fun is really important. If like the fun is forgotten and you have a perfectly balanced game, but no one has fun anymore with the current like specs, then this is like balance is not like the be all and end all, so to say. Look at this. Like, what is this boss? Like, oh my god, it's so scary. Oh, we have to move. Yeah, this is definitely, if you want to get into raids, yeah, try this boss. Pretty easy, pretty safe. Let's provide some stability then. This guy explodes. I should claim. Now I claimed. It's good. Imagine playing games for fun. Yeah, exactly. Who does that? You know, you play for gold. That's you play for the reward. That's the only thing that you play games for. The dopamine hit, not for fun. There we go. Smooth. And now we switch back to Troubadour because Troubadour has more stability access. Or at least easier stability access. And we have distortion as well. I guess I should also switch to focus. But do I have a build template set up with focus? Oh my god, I hate it. I don't think so. I do. Bit scary to play that on Harrier, but it's okay. Yeah. Sketchup in chat. Many players have more difficulty playing their hands rather than difficulty mastering the profession. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. It's actually to some extent for me the same. Yeah, I admit that. Do you know people who got enraged because of the upcoming balance changes? So I know some people, yeah, especially in my YouTube comments, you can read that. It's always like there are hate comments, not necessarily for me this time, but the balance patch actually caused it. I made a small survey on my YouTube channel this week, and where I just asked for the opinion of people, like in 4, like, so to say, levels. You absolutely love this patch, you are okay with it, but it could have been better. And then I had some like negative like feelings as well. So you're just not as like happy, or you really hate this patch. And there was 11% of the people in the comments or in this survey actually said this patch is the worst patch ever in existence. So yeah, definitely like there are people, 11% apparently on my voting people there said this is like the worst patch they ever did in terms of balance. So yeah, definitely there are people that hate this patch, even though it's, in my opinion, by nature, by design, actually quite a good one. Yeah. How would you feel if Arena started to wind down the boons to eventually remove them? Why would it be? Yeah, I guess it's a GG. Is it a GG? Why I'm a top DPS and I don't even have more? That's a bit concerning, to be honest. Yeah, I guess we have to GG. It's fine. And I will take more as well. But it's actually like, I thought we have like 3-4 mesmas, something like that. I don't need to bring like more as well, but I guess we do. It's fine. for example, reduce Might Boon from 30 to 20 power to carefully balance the game until you can safely remove it completely. I think boons by nature, I made a whole video about this, and I think I still stand to my argument. I think boons by nature are good. I think boons in Guild Wars 2 are a really good way to have temporary buffs. The problem is that they are permanently now in PvE, and this makes it hard to balance and less exciting to actually use them. Because you see that, like, we have all the boons permanently. How do they get like hit from this? But yeah, I think this is the main problem here, is that it's like, it's permanent. That's the main problem. So now the CC is good, somewhat. Yeah, that's my thing. I'm not sure if it's needed to actually remove the duration, the power, the whatever you want from the boons right now, if that's the way to do it. I'm not sure, because I think the game is too fixated around boons already. I think you would have to adjust so many encounters, so much design from things that you already have in the game. It's probably not possible anymore. But by nature, I think it would be nice to have quickness and alacrity in the game, but have them as really short duration buffs, like something that lasts for, let's say, maximum 5 seconds. And that is the burst phase. When a boss is exposed, then there is a burst phase where you can do it. Or then you get, for example, you give someone a big burst of protection because you know there will be a hard-hitting attack incoming. Stuff like that would be way more interesting than having it permanently and you effectively have just higher stats. That is not very interesting design, in my opinion. But that's just me. Maybe the whole community disagrees with this. Either way, it doesn't really matter, because ArenaNet will probably not make big changes like that. I think you are onto something. I think that could be done. But like I said, I don't expect it to be done, because it's so into the game already. It's so, the game is so balanced around it. Should I do that? Should I pull it? I don't know. But it's just my opinion. And good point here by Sendary. It's obviously the patch will happen, so you don't have to like stress too much about it. It's just how the patch works. Okay, now we are good. Took a while. I didn't have that yet. I think that someone pushed it too far. It's typically that no one pushes it at all, but it's okay. We did it now. Gonna hop off now? Yeah, see you. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Always a nice sight. So thanks for joining. Let's come here. Behave yourself. Behave the chat. Yeah, exactly. The chat. What is going on? What? What? What was that? Did you see? The boss moved invulnerable. What is going on? Buggy raids, the classic. See. Okay, the commander wants to tank here, I guess. It's fine. So if you don't know, this boss is like negative proximity based. So if you go very far away while the tanking is about to swap, you should become the tank. The most furthest away person, it's not guaranteed. Sometimes it's really weird behavior, but typically that's how it works. So the most furthest away person should be able to get the tank here quite reliably. You can actually, there is a slight delay between like CC happening and you becoming the tank. So you can actually, even if you get CC'd yourself, you can still become the tank. It's a little bit weird, but that's how it can work. So I will just try to be the tank here. See, I got the start. There is a small delay and everything is fine again. It's really like tanking this boss is pretty easy, especially in normal mode. In challenge mode, you should move like something around like a U here to avoid the spears attacks and stuff like that. Pretty safe, but it's really nowadays with this ability output of healers and stuff like that, not a big problem. Now I can pull anymore. Can someone pull a little bit more? Otherwise I have to wait. Okay. We did it. Very good. Just have to concentrate, can't comment everything here because I don't want to be the guy that makes the party vibe just because I read chat in the last second of this fight. It's not that challenging though, but still, better safe than sorry. It's always my rule. Reading chat it can get you killed very fast. I had that sadly a couple of times before as well. And we get the CC instantly and break it and should be fine. Can also try to get this. Nope. Got some stability and we should be good. 600 more DPS than the Chronomancer. That's what I like to see. You know, that's like the real battle here between the healers. Who does more damage? Now I'm talking, of course, like heal DPS is like very negatable if you don't go for Celestial or like full DPS healers. There are some full DPS healers. You know, you can play a full DPS Untamed that is also healing. Pretty good build. I made a whole video about it and I was really surprised how good it is. But yeah, I mean, I'm just playing a nice old school Harrier not Chronomancer, Troubadour here. And now we switch to Chronomancer. Where is it? There we go. Double checking if I'm quickness. Yep, looks good. And we need stability and some H's. Do we need a double cast? Is that really necessary? Just better safe than sorry. Who knows? Who knows? Nice. That was a lot of loot from one boss. I like it. So, as usual, if you have any questions, any comments, just let me know. And let's just write the toughness. Just in case that it is covered here, that I want to be the tank. Very good. Because you have to be careful here, of course. You don't want to have the... You want to have the hand kite having some toughness, if possible, or if they want it as well. But you also should have more toughness, of course, so that the hand kite doesn't become the tank. Because it's toughness-based tanking here. Not under that. This is not a very tough fight. You just have to make sure that the hand kite is on the other half of the arena. That's pretty much that's what you do. You know, the tank stands here, the hand kite stands here, and everything is fine. We're ready. Very good. Wait, I will probably stay on top. It's better to make sure that we don't get all the brides in. They only got 2 chains. That's okay. I mean, could have been better, but better than none. Better than none. That's what I always say. Okay. They cannot get none, by the way. You only go up if you kill one of them, so it was a bit of a shock. So where's the hand kite? Okay, there. Let's move a bit out just to be safe. Hello. Okay, there we go. And they can stand in the hitbox. I guess we move in as well, just why not? And move out. Looks good, looks good. I mean, this is such a good fight in normal mode to learn tanking, for example. Ooh. Because it's pretty forgiving. You just have to stand on one spot and move a little bit when the green happens. Don't move in the in the black when the black happens, and you don't want to stand in the green either. Why is one player not going with us? That's fine. It's fine. There we go. I will answer your question in a second, Roro Tempest. I just want to make sure that I don't die here, because this is obviously a little bit of a fight. This guy is they don't know what to do. That is very clear here, extremely clear. I don't want to flame or anything. It's just if you don't move into the hitbox or in the attacks of the bubble to make sure that you don't get hit and not move at all. That's pretty confirmed. Now we move out of the oil. Hopefully we get no oilers. That this is a pretty new player. It's fine, I guess. It's fine. Write some H's just in case someone gets hit. Don't pull me down, please. No, we have oilers here. We have oilers. Okay. Oh my god. That's why it's scary. You know, that's why it's scary, this fight, you know. It's always the oil. It's always the oil that gets you. Or that gets the puck groups. I mean, it's an orange AoE, you know, it's pretty easy in my opinion to move out of that one. But apparently not. Apparently not. At least it despawns. That's good. The others came back and it instantly despawned. So we take that as a win. We take that as a win. Just have to be careful because they don't have any quickness now. So provide some. It's this one. Can we get the rest here? Maybe. Nope. This is pretty, like, they should kill this guy, otherwise we get too much damage. Classic chaos in puck groups. I'm not sure if it's my tanking. I don't think so. I didn't even do anything, like, not then wrong, to be honest. I just stood here. Like, my group is, why are they, like, what? Classic. Okay, we go in the bubble. I guess we can collect this on the way. Some boons out, blockage. We lost 3 people at 30%. I think it's easily doable. Just have to be a bit careful with the hand kite. There we go. Love pucking demos. The chaos is half of the fun. Yeah, I think it's like, you know, I like to do it on stream because it's like, wait, no. That was like so close, you know. As a tank, you want to stay up here just for like to make sure what happened there. But I was almost like going with the boss here, or with the commander down or up, whatever you want to call it, in the demon realm. So I wanted to make sure that I don't get like teleported, because you want to tank the boss. You want to move the boss if necessary. This guy needs healing. Oh my god, I need to heal them with my well. It feels bad, but okay. Last few percentages looks good, I hope. The hand kite is down. Oh my god, is that scuffed? I mean, that's why I don't like to puck this, you know? It's like, this is so scuffed. This is so scuffed. Can we rest this? Maybe. Okay. No, this is... The hands are on them. No. Don't die for him. How many healers do we have left? Like 2 healers? 1 alacrity DPS? No! That will not work. Why would you GG? That wouldn't work. We can't do it. Oh my god, why would you GG it? It would have worked. With 4 people, it's easily doable. That was very sad, to be honest. What do you get out of doing quick play raids? So you get legendary insight and magnetite shards. And it's not like insane amounts. So if you're a veteran, it's okay to do. If you're a new player, it's quite good. I would say it's not like insane gold rewards or anything. So Thief, any good in PvE for group contents these days? I know Spectre performs well as a support, but beyond that I'm not sure. I think Thief is underrated. You can play as DPS, like Power or Condition, Antiquary and Daredevil are really good. They are melee heavy, but they are really like, they are solid. They are solid builds to play, for sure. If you like them, go for it. And people really underestimate how good those are. Like, Thief is really underrated. It's one of the classes where I would say, like, people always think like, oh, Thief, yeah, pretty, like, it's an assassin and no one plays it. But that's not true. It's like, you could, no, it's me. It's not like people should play it more. It's not because it's bad. It's just, I don't know why the image of Thief is like it is. I really have no clue. I'm not the biggest Thief enjoyer, but from the, like, how it feels and stuff like that. It's not my favorite class, but it doesn't make it a bad class. Where's the hand kite? And I personally think it's like, it's definitely completely fine, especially as a DPS build. It's, as a support, you have to play Spectre, and that's pretty much it. But if you play as a DPS, you can play all of them, and they are all good. Move. This is not moving. See you, Haldia. Thanks for joining. See you. Have a nice day. So, I mean, the first, like, 40% of demos are like a joke, typically, because there's no oil happening yet. But let's see if we get another oil, you know, that's always what kills the people, you know. So, it's fine, I think. Should be fine. Moving out again. You know, it's like the classic tank, you know, I'm just like, I try to be where my group is. There's the first black. Good to see. Okay. And everything should be good. I want to start Soto Legendary Armor because it looks cool, I think. What should I... Was that what I should start with, in your opinion? Yeah, I mean, it's a good thing to start with, yeah. In Legendary Armor, in general, is like one of the best things to go for as a Legendary first because it's really valuable. It provides a lot of value. Let's go in just for the safety. Ooh, maybe we should not have gone in. Now they have a black. Luckily, they spawn with an invulnerability. No. At least they all have eyes. That's good. They instantly dodged everything. We like it. I want to move as little as possible so that the hand kite has like the full arena to move around. I mean, we're already at 28%. Oh, 39. Never mind. Still, it's quite fast. That's like the power creep in a nutshell. Like the DPS numbers are very high even if you don't have like insane amount of DPS from the DPS players. Okay, we have that. Let's move the boss a bit and dodge this. And provide some healing there. And hopefully that should be good. Okay, I mean, last teleport hopefully. I guess I move in this direction this time. I don't know why the glue enjoyer is actually staying by the glue. A good name, by the way. Like it. I guess we do that with like the block here. I hate it. I provide H's to the others, not to myself. It's a little bit annoying. But okay, can you do? That's always saving the blocks for the attack. Yeah, it's fine. You know, this provides H's to my allies, not to myself. That's why I pressed it, just to make sure that my allies got it. But I sacrificed myself, so to say. Should not collect the tear stun. We should kill this guy, though. Is there any X-Thief that works for this type of content? Yes, X-Thief is actually, you can play a core X-Thief, I think, and you can play like all the specs as an X. Yeah, it's not like the easiest build to learn, but it's definitely one that you can check out. As Alka puts it on Snowcross, you can find all of the good meta builds for PvE, for sure. Yes. Just doing Seasons of the Dragons for the Legendary Amulet? I mean, that makes sense, yeah? And then you go for the Legendary Armor after that? I mean, that's perfectly, like, what I would do as well on my second account, I have to be honest. Exactly that for my Zero to Hero. It's just a solid, like, way of getting more legendary gear. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Last black, hopefully, and should be fine. Not the smoothest, but not the worst. There we go. We did it, and some nice gold is on top of that. Yeah. Yeah, Axe is really interesting. Thief has a lot of those weapons like Dagger, Spear, Axe. They all can be played as power or condi because they are designed in a way that you either spam this attack or you spam another attack or different, like on Axe it's a different, how is it called, combination. But yeah, definitely cool concept for sure. Yeah, I think that's also the end of today's stream. That was a pretty like chaotic demos to see the end. I hope you enjoyed it, the whole stream hopefully. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my YouTube channel. I have some really spicy content coming up. Hopefully also good content, entertaining content. And I wish you all a very nice Easter weekend and a good week. And hopefully see you next week. And thanks for watching. Take care and see you around. Bye.